Hello, everybody, and thank you for dialing into the Channel SWU podcast. This is episode number 11, our first Ashes of the Empire episode. My name is Jared, and joining me on the line, all the way from Madison, Wisconsin, it's Austin. Austin, set review time.
Yeah,
earlier than we thought, but I'm actually excited too. Yeah, we enjoyed our time with Lawless Time. You can hear more of our thoughts in the Sunset show for sure. But I was also pretty ready to be able to move on to the next thing, I think.
Yeah,
and we're kind of forced to. So here we are.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be doing a set review. We're going to be going through every single card through Ashes of the Empire, and we're going to let you know our thoughts on how we think they're going to perform in the limited environment. This is for sealed, and this is for draft. We won't be discussing them for Premier or Eternal or Twin Suns or anything like that. There are plenty of other very good podcasts that you can turn to get that kind of information. We are focused here on limited. This episode, however, we're going to be doing the leaders, the legendaries, and the rares. We're going to break these up into separate episodes, as we learned from the last one that maybe doing a 6-hour-long podcast maybe not the best for our voices and for the listener. So that's probably the number one piece of feedback we got, was like, hey, maybe separate these out. And so that's exactly what we're going to do. If you are watching this on the YouTube version, we will also have chapters in place so that if you need to revisit this later on, it'll be very quick for you to be able to jump right back into exactly where you left off. Before we get started, I do want to remind everyone it would mean a lot to us if you hit that follow button and subscribed if you're watching the YouTube version or wherever else it is that you are listening this. If you ever want to contact us directly, we now have an email address set up that is contact.channelswu@gmail.com for any questions, concerns, ideas for future episodes, anything you just want to reach out to us. And if you don't want to say that publicly on a comment or whatever, feel free to do so. And we are on social media over on Blue Sky. We are at channelswu.bluesky.com. All right, Austin, let's review the set. Before anything else, we're going to be giving every one of these cards a grade. Do you want to see what those grades are and what that means?
Sure. I think kind of using the common letter grade system that most people would be familiar with in terms of school grades and things like that, starting with A, being these are game-winning bombs, the things that your opponent has to deal with, otherwise they are just going to lose. From the last set, things like Mastery and Zeb Aurelios, very, very common examples of those. Next goes to B. These are just really solid, actively pull you into those colors, big signals if you're seeing them, coming past to you, second, third, fourth pick, kind of things like that, letting you know that color is open. These are things like Haymaker and Mylodon Rider, followed by C, which is just kind of, those are this is what most of your deck is going to be. They're just kind of the general sort of filler, perfectly fine, acceptable cards, Vigilant Scouts, Basasi Group Marines, those types of cards. Moving down into D, these are filler. You're hoping to not play more than like 2 or 3 of these kind of cards, just to round out your last couple cards, like the Unaki Starbriker or the Kessel Hulk, things like that. They're fine.
They're fine, yeah.
And then Fs. These are they're either meant specifically for a constructed format, or they're just really fringe or just plain unplayable. These are like Master Code Breaker, Everyday More Lies.
Your favorite.
Any event from Red or Yellow practically last time.
Yep. Yeah. So along with that, I want to just remind everyone, this particularly goes to our American audiences. This isn't school. Cs are fine.
Yeah.
Cs are actively good cards, and a majority of your deck is going to be C. And that's good. It's not like school or what your parents tell you, or if you don't get at least a B, you're going to get in trouble and grounded or whatever. You're going to end up with mostly Cs in your deck, and that's good. Like, you want to be looking for C-level cards or better. And then we also have a couple of extra grades for some of these cards. We have both sideboard cards, or sideboard grades, where this is a card where maybe just on its face value has a whatever grade, but in the right situation or in the right deck could get really, really good. So there's a couple like sideboard cards where like you want to bring them in against a certain matchup. For example, if you have like Arvel Skeen from the last set, and you're going up against a Belsartha, well, Arvel Skeen just got way better in that kind of matchup. We also have the build around grades. So these are cards where, again, on their own, they just look like they're not going to do anything, but when put into the right archetype, they could really, really go off. Think any of the bounty hunters from the last set put into the Boba Fett deck. So there'll be a few of those. Now, since we are going to be talking about the legendaries, these are generally higher powered cards, so you're going to see a lot more A's and B's than usuals. You're also going to see a lot more F's. So keep that in mind. But we are going to start off with all of the leaders. So let's do that. Our very first leader is the Armorer. She is a command vigilance blue-green leader. No heroic, no villainy. She deploys at 5 resources and says, play an upgrade from your resource on a unit that entered play this phase. If you do, resource the top card of your deck, and that is an action. And at 5 resources, she deploys. She is then a 4/6 that says, when the attack ends, you may play an upgrade from your resources on a friendly unit. If you do, resource the top card of your deck. So right away, she's telling you exactly what she's about and what she's looking for, and that's upgrades.
Yeah, there's some notable, like I think I had 2 or 3 notes just kind of about what she is about before I kind of even moved into her grade that I kind of jotted down. And it's the difference between her leader and her unit side. Her leader just says a unit that entered play. That could be yours or theirs.
Oh yeah.
As far as I'm reading that, so
that
you
says
can
play an upgrade on a unit, but on her leader unit side, it says a friendly unit. Yeah, you're right.
Friendly, yeah. So like because I was like, okay, they printed a lot of upgrades that are intended to go on your opponent's units.
Yeah.
In this set, and so on her leader side, she can technically throw one of those down on there, but just be careful because she can't do the same thing on her unit side.
So that said, this does not look particularly good to me.
No.
And
yeah.
So the reason being is, one, she isn't heroic, she isn't villainy, which you lose out on a lot of power from cards when you don't have those aspects. That is just a known fact. Sure, you make up for it by having a third color and you have a wider pool, but you might lose out on some power. The big thing, the way she reads is basically plot, but severely throttled. Because it's not when she deploys you get to play an upgrade, it's when she finishes her attack, then you can upgrade a unit. And then if you're upgrading a unit that entered play this phase, well, that means you're kind of underdropping, like you're paying 3 for a 3 cost, and then, well, now I'm also going to take 2 and play this upgrade from my resource pile to put on this 3 that I played. Or you could just play a 5.
Yeah, unless you are playing it against there, like so. Obviously, like you can play your 1s and your 2s and things like that from your row that on something they played on.
Yeah, detrimental ones you could put onto theirs when she's a leader and not a unit.
Right.
I do like that she's a 4/6. Like those are good, solid 5-drop stats. But so I did go through and write down what upgrades are good for her.
Mm-hmm.
And this may not have a lot of context yet since we haven't gone through every single card, but it's cards like Durasteel, Cybernetic Enhancements, Warrior's Legacy, Boak and Saber, Unfettered. These are all upgrades I'll work on her because these are the non-heroic, non-villainy ones in either touch blue, touch green, or a single other color that she could potentially do. But again, it's like you're not. So when you deploy her, you have to do her attack first, and then she gets upgraded. So you don't even get the bonus of like having that hefty punch right away.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm into it.
No, and I trimmed it down to like I wrote down like here there are 17 non-heroic and villainy upgrades. The worthwhile non-heroic and villainy upgrades, I wrote there's like 5. It's not a lot.
And I think the big thing with this kind of leader compared to, say, a Lawless Time, where she's 2 colors and you're losing out Heroic and Villainy, unlike the previous set, we don't have splash bases anymore.
Yeah.
That can make a very big difference in how effective these 2-color leaders actually play out. And I'm very, very skeptical on this one.
Yeah, I've seen some of these, like, last set, like, even like the Tobias and Sahu weren't crazy amazing. Like, just sometimes having access to those 3 colors was enough in those that they could, like, specifically in draft, like, I think they're a little bit, unless you get the right pool for them in sealed is really tough. But I didn't love them.
Yeah. So I have her for a grade. I have her at like a D for a leader. Build around C-. Like, even if you're doing the thing, like, is it really that good? Is it going to feel that good?
Yeah, I have her at just like a flat C-, saying that, like, maybe like 3. You might just be playing her for the colors more than anything.
I mean, she's not even like an exciting like sealed pool fixer like Harrison Dula or Mon Mothma were. Like, she just kind of is 2 colors. Yeah, not really feeling the armor. I think some people are going to try her and kind of be disappointed when they realize what the play pattern actually ends up being like.
Yeah.
So at most C- for the armorer. Up next, we have Fennec Shand. This is a aggressive, cunning leader, so red-yellow, that says action 1 resource, exhaust a friendly unit, play a unit from your hand. It enters play ready. And says if you control 4 more resources, she deploys. And when she deploys, she is a 3/4 saboteur with action 1, exhaust a friendly unit, play a unit from your hand. It enters play ready. Austin, I need your help with this one.
Okay.
Because I don't understand. I mean, I understand how it works, but I don't understand.
This feels to me like a leader that was made too strong. Like, whatever, like it didn't require exhausting another unit. It didn't require like paying 1 or so. Like they dialed something back at the last minute that just made this leader unplayable. Like that, I can't imagine that this is the design they started with and it was like, yep, this is great. I feel like something got tuned here and it got over tuned and just pile drived it. Like, it's just awful.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure this out. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it originally didn't cost a resource to do or something. You just had an exhaustive friendly unit, because that would probably be kind of good in some situations. But the way her ability works is that you have to underdrop again, kind of like the armorer, but then you're also hamstringing your own attacks and actions because you have to exhaust a unit just to do the thing on top of it. Granted, that's usually an upgrade if you're saying exhausting one of your 2 resources to ready 4 or 5, but you're paying 1 already, so you might have to be at the 5 or 6 resource turn to do that. Now, in my head, this looks like an ability that gets way better the longer the game goes.
Which doesn't make sense for her being a 4 deploy leader.
That's why I was so confused, and I wanted your help on this, because she's statted and worded like an aggressive card. Like, she comes out on 4, 3/4 saboteur, she gets in there, so okay, aggressive card. I understand that. Therefore, she's an aggressive leader and wants other aggressive units, but her ability just seems better the longer the game goes.
Yeah, I think secretly they just really hate Fennec Shand.
I don't get it. So
yeah, I gave it a generous D. Like, for the colors, I literally just wrote like for the colors, maybe. Like, I don't know. I'm not playing her for the ability, that's for sure.
I mean, I gave a generous C-, and even that might be too high because, again, my brain is going to, okay, turn 7, turn 8. Yeah, like I could potentially come out here and have like a readied 5 or 6, like a Rose Tico equivalent, and start beating. Like, yeah, maybe that's good. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, she'll definitely be dead by then. Like, she's not going to survive.
No.
Like, again, there are 3-cost 3/4 saboteurs that you just play as units, and she's a 4-cost 3/4 leader.
And she'll die to most 4-cost units. Like, yeah, she won't clear most. She'll clear that 4/3 blue Villainy Sentinel that's bound to be everywhere. She'll trade with it. Sorry,
Yeah,
she won't clear it. She'll trade
honestly,
with it.
The saboteur part of her is very, very relevant. That's probably the best part about her leader, and I really don't like anything else. So, yeah, super generous C-. It may actually be more like a DD plus leader. I would rather play Armorer than Fennec Shand.
Yes, same.
All right. We'll move on to the next one. Next up, we have Balin Skull. This is the blue villain common leader. I should mention that both Armorer and Fennec Shand were rares. Balin Skull says, action, pay 1, exhaust. Give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase if it's the only unit you control in its arena. And if you have 5 more resources, Balin Skull deploys. He is a 4/6 force unit that says, on attack, you may give a friendly unit +2/+2 and Sentinel for this phase if it's the only non-leader unit you control in its arena. Ooh, baby.
I like it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now that's an ability.
He has a repeatable pump effect. Like you don't really need to and there's not as many, I think, worthwhile like pump events in this set as there were in Lawless Time, and so just having one built into him with some minor stipulation is pretty great.
Yeah, and I mean, the likelihood of you having a single unit in either arena, ground, or space is going to happen more often than you think, especially in the early game where you're both playing 2s, you're both playing 3s, and you're just aggressively attacking them into each other and trading them out. You'll have something that will just kind of stick around. You could pump your 2-cost, your first unit, give it +2/+2, use that to trade into their 4 drop, and then you still got 3 resources to play something else and still be ahead. And again, when he's deployed, that on attack giving something Sentinel is huge, because again, if you have a completely empty board, it is not going well for you. Your opponent's got all the leaders, they got control, and you're struggling. He comes out on the attack, gives himself +2/+2 and Sentinel. So giving himself as a 6/8 just to protect that, or if you need a lane dodge and you pump your spaceship and start beating it in the space arena, this all seems very, very good to me.
Yeah, I think I wrote down for him like having a repeatable onboard +2/+2, the ability to protect himself with the addition of Sentinel on his leader side, or on his unit side, sorry, and then just pairing him with we'll get to it as we kind of cover some of the other stuff, but like the blue villain is looking very strong this set and has some of the best Sentinels in the game already. Like pairing him with a good color we saw last set with Vel and things like that, with how good blue and blue heroic was last set, like pairing a very good leader with it is a recipe for success. Yeah,
if at any point in time you've got the initiative and the very first thing you do is activate Balin Skull to pump your lone unit, I think you'll be okay. I've got Balin Skull rated at a B.
I also have him at B.
He just looks very, very good. By the way, I want a quick mention to everyone before I forget that I will have our entire set review Excel sheet available for public viewing. I'll put that link in the description. So if you ever just want to look through these and read it on your own, feel free. Yeah, B for Balin Skull. Seems very, very good. That was the common blue villainy leader. Now we've got the rare blue villainy leader in Grand Admiral Thrawn. That says action, exhaust, attack with a unit. It gains restore 2 for this attack if you control the same number of units as the defending player. And then says you can deploy him if you control 8 or more resources. And as a leader unit, he is a 5/8 Imperial official with restore 2, and says on attack, if you control more units than the defending player, you may defeat a non-leader unit they control. Everything about this card is anti-Austin.
Yeah. It's not gonna come as a shock, but I don't like him very much. I see the line. Like his if you can get his front side to work, that's incredibly powerful. If you can get his on attack on his leader side to work, that is absolutely nuts. I hope you're dead before that happens, but eight resources is a lot, just so much.
Yeah, if this seems like a card where if you're able to deploy Admiral Thrawn and get that attack off and get that on attack ability to trigger, you're just going to snowball into a very fast win very fast. And there's just not much they can do about it because every single attack, you're just taking out any non-leader unit they have. Space or ground, doesn't matter how much it costs. Grand Admiral Thrawn just kills it. Very, very strong. And the Restore 2 is also really, really relevant. I do think the front side leader ability, where if you have the same number of units as the opponent, I think that actually might be a little more reliable than you would think.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of how the nature of the game kind of goes back and forth. But he's one where if you get, like, he feels like a win more or a lose harder. Like, so it's the same number. So if you're behind on board, he doesn't get to turn on his ability, and you start losing harder. And if once he flips to his leader side, if you still have fewer units on board, then he's losing harder. But like, if you're able to manipulate the board state where you're able to keep parity in terms of like having the same number of units, great. He's turning his ability off. You're snowballing that into winning harder, winning more. And then if you have more units on the board at 8 resources, when you flip him, you were probably already winning the game, and his ability is just going to kind of close it out.
So everything that I just said, that's my that's my case for it.
Mm-hmm.
He deploys at 8. That is a hefty cost, and there's not often that any kind of limited game gets you to the 8 resources in such a way that you can stabilize, deploy them, and start swinging the game back around. It's not impossible. It's just very hard to do, and not really knowing the speed of this format yet, I'm going to just assume it's going to be way faster than people think, just based on the main mechanics of advantage tokens and action compression and support and all that. We'll discuss more about the actual new mechanics of the set as we get to them. But I think because of all that, I think getting to 8 is going to be tough. But if you can get there, you'll probably win. So that said, he is slow. And that might be too slow. I've got him at C- because of that.
I have him at a D because he's on 8.
No, I'm a little bit higher. Again, I think his leader side ability is a little more applicable than you would think. And the Restore 2 is not nothing. Like, that is a good way to help make sure that you last to the long game.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I've got him at C-, but this is more of a Jared card than Austin, for sure. Then Austin has it at D. So, again, depending on the kind of player you are between the two of us, in your own mind, you can probably have an idea of what you would rate this card at. Next, we have our blue heroic leaders, starting off with Luke Skywalker. This is the blue heroic starter leader. So not rare, not common, but starter. So he'll show up in your pre-release pools just as an automatic free leader. And then if you are playing sealed or playing draft, you could get a showcase of him. But that's all I'll ever see him. So this is very, very niche appearance, but he will be there. And Luke Skywalker is blue heroic and says, when a friendly unit's attack ends, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, heal 1 damage from that unit. And if you have 7 more resources, he deploys into a 6/7 Force Jedi Rebel that says, when a friendly unit's attack ends, heal 2 damage from that unit or from your base.
I notoriously don't like 7-cost leaders, but I do love Luke Skywalker, so it was difficult. But I do think, so unlike Thrawn, where it's kind of like this snowballing, like if you're winning more kind of thing like that, I think he actively, his abilities make it so you are moving towards that seven deploy. You're keeping your units healthy, especially like your sentinels and things like that, to really kind of gum up the ground and stop your opponent from getting in and make it to his flip. And then his flip is just, as long as you can keep him on the board, he's a 6. He's the old Luke, Soar Luke stat line. without like the restore 3 that kind of made that guy nuts. But he has kind of restore 2.
He basically
in a way.
has restore 2 and essentially gives your entire squad restore 2.
Yeah. If this guy flips and stays on the board to attack more than once, like I think you are I can't imagine very many scenarios where you're not losing, where you are losing that game after with this happening. Like, it's just that's really powerful.
I think getting to 7 and getting this guy out is going to happen a lot.
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be reliable. I think it's actually going to be strong. The 6/7 stats are really, really powerful for a 7 drop. Like, he's going to slam into the base or whatever it is you need to take out very, very well. And if for some reason he's got to take out Sentinels, he can heal 2 damage off himself to help make sure he's a little sticky. Like, I think there's a lot here going on with Luke Skywalker that he is very actively good. Slightly on the slower deploy side, sure, but man, like, if you deploy Luke and you still have 2 units still out, and you can restore 6 that turn, that's nutty.
Just nuts.
That's nutty. So I think he's actually really, really good. I have him at B.
I have him at B as well. I think he'll be like one of the most playable starter leaders that we will see pre-release in kind of a long time.
Yeah, not since like Boba Fett from Jump to Lightspeed. I think. When you're at your pre-releases, definitely make sure you remember you have Luke Skywalker in your pre-release box. Take him out and heavily consider him because he seems very, very good.
Yeah.
The next blue heroic leader is Sabine Wren. She's a common one. And she says, action exhaust. An opponent gives 2 advantage tokens to a unit they control. If they do, the next unit you play this phase gains shielded for this phase. And before we move on, Austin, what is an advantage token?
It is a temporary boost that is it's +1/+0, and it's until they attack or they are attacked the next time, and then they just go away after they get that boost and then it's gone. So you can your opponent can kind of mess with your plan in a way, but they're doing it at a cost to themselves. If they are attacking into this unit, they're taking a significant amount back usually, but then at the advantage to themselves of those advantage tokens do go away.
Yeah, it's basically like whenever they do any kind of combat damage, whether attacking or defending, the advantage tokens are then just depleted afterwards. Yeah. Right. Okay. So she says an opponent gives 2 advantage tokens, so basically a temporary +2/+0 to one of their own units. But if they do so, the next unit you play gains shielded. And says on 5 resources you may deploy Sabine, and she deploys as a 3/5 Jedi Mandalorian Spectre, and says on attack, the next unit you play this phase gains shielded for this phase.
So right off the bat, saying like this is an if statement on her leader side, so you can't just be like, oh, your opponent has no units to give these advantage tokens to, I still get to get my shielded.
Yes.
They do have to have the ability to give advantage to something that
the way it's worded, if your opponent has no units to put advantage tokens on, you don't get the buff on Sabine Wren.
Right.
So this was a very hard one to parse out because
it's going to come down to what advantage tokens are worth compared to what shielded tokens are worth, and without playing a significant amount of the set, it's a little bit hard to determine.
I think there's something here. It takes really, really careful sequencing.
Yes.
It's not something you can just do mindlessly or do for free. But if you're able to do it and do it well, free shield is worth a lot. Imagine your Sabine Wren. Even if you give an opponent's unit the 2 advantage tokens, the next unit you play is an ambusher, and your ambusher just goes into it, takes it out, and just loses its shield, and you still have all the hit points remaining on your ambusher. That's incredibly strong. Or, same situation, give them the advantage token, the next unit you play is a sentinel. Any sentinel with a shield is really, really strong. But you do have to give your opponent advantage tokens. So again, the sequencing and timing of this is going to be really, really intricate and really tough to do.
And keep in mind, it's also the opponent is the one who gets to choose where the advantage tokens go.
Yes.
So if they're anticipating you playing like a ground sentinel or something, they get to slap those 2 on a spaceship that they might control.
Right. Or if they have one exhausted unit and you activate Sabine, they'll just put the advantage tokens on the non-exhausted unit. And that's the other thing that hinders her ability a lot, is that her leader side ability does say the next unit you play this phase. It's not the same action.
Yeah.
You activate Sabine, your opponent gets the 2 advantage tokens, your opponent gets the next action, then it comes back to you. Now you can play your unit and it will have the shield. This gives them opportunity to make their attacks, to anticipate whatever it is you could possibly be playing. This could mean they take the initiative before you get to. So there's a lot of drawbacks. There's a lot of potential upside, and I think there's something. And then when she's on her leader unit side, her on attack is just good. Like, just give a shield to the next thing you play. That is good. She is also a 3/5.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, I think that's why her stats are horrible. Like, let's call it what it is. They're horrible.
Yeah, 3/5s for 5 is not very, very good.
Yes, everybody complained about Han. You know, they kind of put Han in the bin last set because he was a 4/5, and he also had Saboteur. So she doesn't have a keyword and has 1 less power. It's really like, if she survives more than 1 attack, I think I will feel fortunate to attack with her once and get that shield off. Fortunately, that is just really powerful. So sometimes you just need to get the 1 attack off and get that free shield.
Is there a world where you just never activate her and you just wait until you can deploy her attack and get a free shield somewhere, and like that's all you hope to do?
I think so. I mean, I don't think she may just be a leader. Like, you know, there are those sneaky leaders where you just don't deploy them on their deploy turn, and sometimes you just wait. Yeah,
that could be the case too. So I can't figure it out. I do think the more Sentinels and more Ambushers you have, she gets significantly better, and those are the kind of cards you want, not just whatever dorky dudes with stats. Like, you're not just trying to protect them. Like, you want to really make use, basically to mitigate the downside of having to give advantage tokens for free to your opponent. And Ambushers and Sentinels is one of the best ways to do that. Or maybe you have like a cheap removal spell that you know you're going to do, so if they play the tokens, you can just pop them anyway and still get to play your shielded unit. There's something there, but this is not. This is going to be a tough one to play. So it is also a tough one to grade because of that, and I can't figure her out.
Yeah.
So
I have a couple of these leaders where it's like, I want to play games with them to really kind of get an idea of where they're at.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So I wrote down she's either a C- or a B+. There is no in between.
I have her tentatively at the C-. I'm just really like, your leader flip turn tends to be where you really start taking over the game or losing the game, and I just feel like one that dies so soon, it may just not get there.
Yeah, I hear you, and I don't blame you either. I feel like there's something there. I'm probably going to try and get turbo punish for it, but maybe I want to see. So
I think she'll be one of those, like, she reminds me a little bit of Luthen in this way, where like nobody will know how to play around it. Like, nobody has played against her, so nobody will play around her. So sometimes you'll just get like cheeky, like,
Mom?
You'll do something, your opponent will be like, oh right, that's how she works, and you'll kind of get them a little bit.
Yeah, but I think for safety's sake, assume she's a C-, and that's if you never use her front side ability poorly.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next, we have our green leaders. This is the green Villainy leader. This is Grand Admiral Sloane, who has action. She's a rare. Exhaust. Choose one. Give each ground unit Sentinel and Overwhelm for this phase, or give each space unit Sentinel and Overwhelm for this phase. If you have 5 resources, she may deploy, and then she becomes a 4/5 Imperial official with Overwhelm that says each other friendly unit gains Overwhelm and Sentinel. What?
It certainly is a design that can happen, and I guess worth calling out here. I think we're both we're both talking about it, but it's pointing out the elephant in the room. Is her leader ability is symmetrical. It's both all of their stuff and all of your stuff. in those arenas. It's not just one side. That said, her unit ability is just friendly units.
When deployed, she's strong.
Yes, I think she's incredibly hard to kill because she has so much protection. Everything else, because it's each other. She herself doesn't gain Sentinel.
Yeah, that means they have to attack through all of your other units before they can even start targeting Sloane. Like that's a smart design.
Yeah, and I think she will be the one who wears upgrades one of the best.
Oh,
because
sure.
You can't kill her. Like you'll never get to her to kill her.
Yeah, I agree. However, she's a 4/5, and we were just dunking on Han Solo a little bit from the last set for being a 5-cost 4/5. I mean, so less, arguably less vulnerable than Han because she'll have Sentinels around her, but that's not a whole lot of hit points, so she can't really do a whole lot of strong, overwhelming attacks. Now,
the other problem is that if you're using her leader ability, she may not be like it incentivizes you not to use her leader side ability because then if you give all of your other units Sentinel prior to her deploy, you're losing you're forcing them to attack all of your units, so she doesn't have people to protect. I honestly don't think I will ever use her leader side ability, and I will simply deploy her with a bunch of hopefully ground units to protect her.
The only thing I can think of is wanting to use her leader side ability when you desperately need to get defensive. And like you're gonna attack your units into her units into your opponent's units anyway, so like force them to go through yours before they hit your base or something, I guess. But either way, the biggest thing that I see here is like this is a Twin Suns card.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a Twin Suns meme where like, all right, everyone, now we're all blocking, and I think that's where it's meant to be. So I'm not convinced how this is actually going to work out in Constructed. The ability's cool. When she's deployed.
Yes.
Otherwise, I don't know about that one. I have her at D. It seems like a Twin Suns card.
Yeah, I also have her at D. I think she might be another one, like a worse version of Sabine, where like there might be something there that you can figure out, like she's the Voltron leader of this set that you just
there's just not a very clean way of doing it advantageously compared to someone like Sabine.
Right.
Yeah, less convincing Grand Admiral Sloane. Next is the common green Villainy leader, and that is Moff Gideon. That says, action, exhaust. If a friendly Imperial unit was defeated this phase, play a unit from your hand. It costs 1 less. And then he deploys at 7 or more resources and says, 5/8 Imperial official. This unit gains each of the following keywords if it is on an Imperial unit in your discard pile. Ambush, Grit, Hidden, Overwhelm, Saboteur, Sentinel, Shielded, Support. So if any of those keywords are just in your graveyard on an Imperial, Moff Gideon's got it.
Right. So not Raid and Restore. Notably.
Not Raid, not Restore, because those are the ones that have like numbers attached to them.
Yeah.
So if there's like multiples, it gets weird. So I think they wisely just omitted those.
He's another interesting one. I think, they're really going out of their way to make these 7 deploy leaders that have, I don't think the juice was worth the squeeze in most of the prior iterations. They're doing a lot to make these 7 deploy leaders really interesting. This is one I think we need to, at least I gave a sealed versus a draft bill.
Oh, yeah, smart.
Because he really needs Imperials. If he's not really doing anything, if you don't have the Imperials to back him up.
Yeah.
That said, I think there's like 30 some odd Imperials or something like that in the set. So you're going to have.
I actually counted it up. I did the math.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
There are 23 Imperial units.
Okay.
15 of them have applicable keywords.
Okay.
And 15 at common.
Okay.
So
we'll start some, because I think I know that the green villain, usually they align with the leaders and things like that. There are a couple of double keyworded.
Yeah, there are a couple of units that have like Overwhelm and Sentinel, or Overwhelm and Ambush, or Overwhelm Saboteur. Yeah, there are a couple doubles in there. And I did the Imperial count because that's very important for his front side because that's a strong front side ability. Getting to not really ram, but play ahead of your opponent because you just need the Imperial unit to be defeated. Not the one you're playing has also be Imperial. That's besides the point. You just need an Imperial to die for Moff Gideon's cause, and then you get to play ahead. That's really strong. But you do need the Imperials to make it happen.
Yeah.
And if you got it though, like strong.
Yeah, I think he has a great he's got a halfway decent leader side, a 5.8. It's a great stat line. A couple of these keywords, you get one with shielded on, like you're really kind of doing it. And some of these other ones, like grit on a 5.8, also pretty good.
If you can have him come out with shielded and sentinel, you're really doing it. And then if you also have him with support, because then you're also supporting all of those keywords onto whatever it is Moff Gideon's supporting. Which would basically be like Overwhelm and Saboteur.
Okay.
Or Grit.
Is that how support works?
Yeah.
I didn't think it gave the keywords. I thought it just gave like the on attacks and things like that.
It gives all the like keywords and attack abilities. And a lot of the attack abilities like Ambush, Overwhelm, Saboteur.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you're supporting those abilities onto them. Like that can get nutty. And it shouldn't be too hard, in particular, to get the Sentinel and Shielded ones. Because there's some really good ones at common that you'll probably want to be wanting playing in your deck if you are Moff Gideon. So now all that said, it needs to be Imperials with these keywords. Don't forget about that. There are going to be people who miss that line of text, and they're going to miscount or miscalculate all these abilities that Moff Gideon is going to get. So when you're also playing against a Moff Gideon, don't be afraid to double check to make sure they're doing it correctly and, pulling the cards out of the discard pile to make sure it all looks okay. So Moff Gideon does have a build around grade. With the Imperial support, he is like a build around B+. Yep. Like strong.
I had him, solid B for me.
Yeah. But like you said, between draft and sealed.
I have him as like a C plus because you're gonna just get enough Imperials. I think just with 20 of them being a common, you're just bound to see you're
out of 6 boosters. Yeah,
it's hopefully that they can congregate in a couple of different colors because now we're last set we kind of like okay if they are bounty hunters or whatever you kind of have pseudo 3 colors to kind of collect all of your bounty hunters. This Good point. Are really kind of pressured into having them in just 2.
Yeah, that is a good point. And then, if you're able to draft them, kind of easy to draft. Like you're just looking for Imperials with those keywords that work. And then, especially if they're cheap ones and you don't mind them dying, so you can play some bigger units afterwards. So build around B for Moff Gideon. If for some reason you just don't have the Imperials, he's a flat D. He's not going to do anything else for you.
Yeah.
All right, up next. We have our green heroic leader at common, and that is Ahsoka Tano. Action Exhaust. Choose a unit with less power than a friendly unit. It gets +2/+0 for this phase. And if it controls 6 or more resources, Ahsoka Tano deploys into a 5/6 Force Jedi with support. It says, on attack, you may give a unit with less power than this unit +2/+0 for this phase. And really, this is our first instance on support. And support says when you play this unit or deploy this leader, anyone with support, you may attack with another unit. That attacking unit gains all the other abilities of the supporting unit. So remember Fleet Lieutenant Commander from like set 1 where you got to attack with another rebel and it got +2/+0 for the attack. That's what kind of support does. It comes in and you get to immediately attack with another unit. Only now you get to attack with that unit, you're also buffering them and giving those extra support abilities. So Katano deploys, supports another unit, that unit gets to attack. And if you have another unit with less power than that attacking unit, you can give that weaker unit +2/+0. Then Ahsoka Tano can attack, potentially give something else +2/+0 or the same one. So like it can sort of chain. So support gives you some fast action compression with some bonuses.
Yeah.
Now is she good?
I think she's gonna be a pretty explosive leader. Like just when you have support on especially on like a leader, so you get to attack with another unit right away, and then that unit like kind of chaining these sorts of things. That unit gets her on attack, where it gives something else +2/+0, and then when she actually gets her attack, giving something else +2/+0. Like you could potentially stack these two on the same unit, as so long as it stays under the power requisite kind of thing like that. I think she's going to be one where you're going to need to have a plan for when she flips, because otherwise you're going to take a lot.
Yeah.
That said, she's a 5/6 on a 6 deploy. I think that's kind of compensating for like she's slightly understated.
Yeah.
She's got more power. We normally see seeing 4/7s are ideal 6.
Like she represents a lot of damage, not just the 5 from her own attack, but also the +2/+0 on something else. So like she's kind of representing 7 damage with every attack. That is a lot.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think you're going to need a plan. She's going to be just kind of like, I think a little bit like Hera, where you're actively trading into a bunch of your units. Like you need to be, otherwise she's way less. She gets significantly worse without other units on the board to trigger her.
That is a good point. The one thing that I wrote down is I like her ability a lot, and if you're going to use it, basically be ready to not have the initiative. Because you do have to spend an action just to set this up. It's a really, really strong setup. And like you're going to get a lot of damage out of it, but it is going to cost you the initiative, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But I like her. I want to try her.
Yeah. I really waffled back and forth between like C+ B- on her.
I had her more at C+ than B-.
Okay. Yeah. I think I can go. I can do either.
But you might know better. This is certainly more of an Austin card than something that I'd be comfortable with. But yeah, I like her. At least C+. Maybe she reaches the B- range once we start playing with her. But yeah, Ahsoka Tano, she's up there. All right, that is it all for our command leaders. We're going to move on to...
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry, we got one more.
We have one more command leader.
I'm sorry.
I know you're trying to forget this one, but
sorry.
She's here.
Bo-Katan Kryze. This is the rare green heroic leader. Action, 2 resources, exhaust. If you control a unit in each arena, create a Mandalorian token. And that's the other new mechanic for the set, Mandalorian tokens. Mandalorian tokens are vigilance 2/2 shielded tokens.
With the Mandalorian trait, as you mentioned.
With the Mandalorian trait, which is relevant. And Bo-Katan Kryze says, if the number of resources you control plus the number of friendly Mandalorian units is 10 or more, deploy her. And she deploys as a 4/7 Mandalorian that says, other friendly Mandalorian units get +1/+0 on attack if you control a unit in each arena. Create a Mandalorian token. So you make a 2/2, and Bo-Katan is giving it +1/+0. Now math. I was trying to imagine like these magical Christmas land scenarios where you're playing Mandalorian units and they're just not dying at all. They're never dying. And if that's the case, like what is the earliest you can get Bo-Katan deployed? What I came up with is it is possible on the 5 resource turn. 2-drop, 3-drop. At the 4 resource turn, there's a card that allows you to create 2 Mandalorian tokens. Now you're at 4. 5 resource turn, you play your 5th 5-drop. Now you're at 5 total Mandalorians. 5 Mandalorians plus 5 resources. Bo-Katan deploys. If none of your units die or they attack or take any damage or be interacted with, they're completely ignored. That is the fastest Bo-Katan could potentially deploy. Now, it's more likely 6 at the earliest if you're lucky, maybe 7.
Maybe never.
Maybe never. So does it work?
It works as like the scenario I imagine Bo-Katan working in is it's the second, maybe 2.5 months into the set, and somebody's like, I'm tired of drafting the good leaders. I'm gonna go ahead and draft Bo-Katan, and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
And then like they lost the first match, and like they're on their second match, and they get to do the thing. They finally deployed Bo-Katan, and everyone's like, "Oh, they did it!" And they probably still lose the match.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so on this one. I actually like her leader ability. Get a free 2/2 when you need it?
Yeah.
Not free. It is not free. It's far from free, actually.
It's far from.
But whenever you need it, you just can create a 2/2, and it's shielded, so it's going to stick around to help you deploy her. Like, I like that ability. I think that's the nicest thing I can say here. I don't think this is going to happen. Even like in the most ideal, perfect Mandalorian draft deck that is built around having Mandalorians and making it happen, it's going to be too slow and too clunky to actually work. There are going to be people out there that try, though. If you do and you succeed, I want to see. Show us pictures, because what?
I wrote, if you win a game with the Bo-Katan leader, I promise you it's not because you're playing the Bo-Katan leader.
Yeah.
Your deck is just really good, and Bo-Katan happens to be the leader.
Yeah. So, what grade do you have for Bo-Katan then?
I have a D-.
D-? Yeah, I didn't want to give an F. Because, like...
Yeah. There's a 6-cost card that makes 3 Mandalorians, baby. It could happen.
Yeah, it's not completely unplayable. She's the Darth Vader of the set. You can if you have to, but I would not be excited. But yeah, I am not in on Bo-Katan at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now we're on to our aggressive leaders, and our first up is our aggression villainy leader at common. It's Cad Bane. With action exhaust, deal 1 damage to a unit with 2 or more remaining hit points. Then if you have 6 or more resources, he deploys as a 4/7 underworld bounty hunter with overwhelm, and says on attack, you may deal 1 damage to a unit with 2 or more remaining hit points. This is what I wrote down.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I wrote this paragraph and you just wrote, hell yeah?
This reads as deal damage to a unit. Now, we've seen ping leaders plenty of times before, but they've always had stipulations to them. Had to be on something that cost less than something you played. Had your opponent got to choose where the damage got to go to. Can only do it if you played an underworld unit. Cad Bane just says, generally speaking, deal a damage to something. And if they're already down to 1, you're okay. I think that's fine. Like, he's just going to start letting you do damage where you need it, and that is awesome.
Yeah, I think he is incredibly good. I think his ability isn't Aura Sing. Like, we have to like Aura's was, I think, just generally speaking, better, but his is more free, I guess, is the what I would call it. He has the magical 6 deploy 4/7 stat line that we kind of always seek out. The overwhelm, it feels a little bit odd with his like the 4/7 stat line having overwhelm until you factor in the fact that he's probably been pinging things a couple of times, and his on attack is designed to ping it and then give you that.
So he kind of attacks for 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he will be strong and generally annoying, and I think it's just with how many shielded units we'll have in this set, he's going to do work.
I think that alone is going to be the most important part and what makes his ability so strong. Any shield that your opponent plays is just worthless against Cad Bane because you can just get rid of it. If their whole plan is making Mandalorian tokens that have 2/2 shielded, Cad Bane gets rid of that shield, and now all they got is a 2/2. That's not great for them. All of their shielded sentinels, your Cad Bane can just set up your units to get into them. All of that just seems really, really good to me. Yeah, immediately deploys on 6, sure. Like you said, he kind of attacks for 5, or on the times he doesn't need to, he can just go 4 to base and ping somewhere else. Doesn't matter. Plus his ability can go to space units. Like, that's nutty. This seems just so good to me. I am very high on Cad Bane.
I think I also am going to be looking for things that there's a fair number of cards in this set that ping for a damage and things like without like something to do that last hit point, because obviously he can always just get something down to 1.
Yeah, get that finish.
Will never kill something. So if you can accumulate a couple of cards that do that, or even just like 1 cost 1 X's that have like a secondary effect or something like that, something that kind of helps you clean up the board a little bit, just because you are going to need you are effectively never killing anything with his ability, so you do need to find other ways to finish those off.
I'm not necessarily seeing it as a means of, get them down low enough that they're at 1 hit point and now you need to finish them off. I think it's kind of a reverse Aura Sing situation from Lawless Time, where it makes combat math for your opponent really awkward. Because you're going to the 3 resource turn, you play a 3/4, they play a 3/4. Only now you get to make their 3/4 into a 3/3, and suddenly their attack looks really, really bad. You play a 4/5, they play a 4/5. You ping it down to a 4/4. Now your 4/5 looks amazing against it. And I think that's the advantage that Cad Bane does, is that it makes that combat math awkward for your opponent. The huge downside to all of this is you're not going to have the initiative.
Yeah.
So,
it's really telegraphed too, right? Like, so if you ping the unit, like, you know where it's going. It's not like you can do it in the reverse order. You have to ping the unit first.
Yeah.
If you're going to be trying to trade with it and things like that. Or kill it with an advantage. Yeah,
and I think there will be situations where having the initiative is still going to be more important than getting that ping off. But man, that ping is just so very, very strong. Yeah. I'm very high on Cad Bane. I have him at B+.
I have him at just a solid B, but I could see B+.
B+ for Cad Bane. Just looks very, very good. Next is the rare red villainy leader, and that is Vayne, Quarrelsome Pirate. That says, action, exhaust, defeat a friendly upgrade, deal 2 damage to a base. And if you have 5 more resources, he deploys as a 3/6 underworld unit that says, on attack, you may defeat a friendly upgrade. If you do, deal 2 damage to the defending unit or a base. So I get it. I get what they're going for here. It's taking those advantage tokens and basically having a slightly better way of cashing them in.
Yeah.
Because the advantage tokens give you the +1/+0, you can sacrifice it instead to deal 2 damage to their base. Or when he's deployed, if you got an advantage token anywhere, Vayne ostensibly attacks for 5 as a 5/6 into something. Or it can be, I guess it does have to go to the defending unit. So keep that in mind. You can't shotgun blast it out or whatever. Like, it does have to go out to a single target, but otherwise he could go 5 to the opponent's base as a 5 deploy leader. That's pretty strong.
Yeah, he require, like, we're coming off of the common leader that just doesn't require work. He just does. He just does it. And this guy really, especially, like, I think he may be another candidate. I didn't give him a build around or a draft grade, but I think he might actually need one. Like, if you don't have a way of building advantage, he becomes very bad. Like, he just doesn't do anything.
I didn't really give it a build around grade either, because you're just going to want advantage tokens. And I think there's going to be enough kind of going around throughout the set on any cards. You're not really looking like, I need to make sure I draft every single advantage token generating card to make sure I can do the thing. It's like, no, I think those kind of be able to do that incidentally without having to worry about it too much and focusing on it. Now, for whatever reason, if you are looking at your red villainy pool and you just don't have anything that gives advantage tokens, then yeah, he's kind of bad and doesn't really do much. He's just a 3/6. But I think it's generally not free, but widely available enough that you'll just kind of be able to do it.
Yeah, I think I came a little bit down on him kind of after reviewing the set, because there are some fantastic advantage cards, but there's a lot of just really dopey ones that I feel like
Yeah.
they really kind of understated the unit with the idea that they will get a one-time advantage boost.
Yes. And it does say it has to be a friendly upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So if an opponent plays like a bad upgrade on one of your units, you can't sacrifice that. It has to be one of your own. So yeah, all that said, I'm still not super high on him like Cad Bane. He still seems pretty good.
I haven't. It's like a C. Like I feel like I won't.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I had.
Sometimes I'll just play him. Like it's fine. Like I won't be super upset. He will just be okay.
One of the bigger downsides to him, before I forget, is that he is really weak on defense.
Yes.
Like if something's attacking into him, he's only dealing 3 back. So maybe this is meant to be more of the aggression aggro deck leader than something like Aura Singh.
I think he is supposed to. Like I think he's just supposed to go face. Honestly, like I think he's just supposed to always be going face and just his advantage tokens, passing those around and just always turning them into 2 damage, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Our next leader is our aggression heroic leader, and that is Ezra Bridger. When a friendly unit's attack ends, if it dealt 3 or more combat damage to a base, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an advantage token to a different unit. If you got 5 resources, Ezra deploys as a 3/6 Force Jedi Rebel Spectre. He has Saboteur and says when a friendly unit's attacks end, if it dealt 3 or more combat damage to a base, you may give an advantage token to a different unit. I like him.
Yeah, I think he's a very straightforward, aggressive, heroic leader.
Just tells you exactly what he wants and what you want to do. Just hit that base for 3 or more, and if you do, you get a little treat.
Yeah, and he doesn't, notably on both sides, there isn't a cap. He doesn't exhaust him to do that ability.
Yeah.
Oh no, so sorry. His leader side does, but I think his
leader side does. It just says you may exhaust, but when he's deployed, you can get multiple advantage tokens and just start passing them out.
Yeah.
And that adds up to be quite a bit. And I think him having Saboteur is really, really important because if nothing else, if there is a Sentinel that way, Ezra can get that 3 damage into the base to make sure you get that advantage token out to something.
Mm-hmm.
He is still a 3/6, but he does represent more damage than like a Sabine 3/5 or whatever, because he should be able to get those advantage tokens out.
That said, I think the ground is going to get pretty gummed up this set. There's just a lot of Sentinels. They all, lots of them have big butt. Saboteur is not as prevalent as it has been in other sets. So I think I'm taking this guy to space as much as I can.
Maybe Space Ezra, sure. But I like him.
They printed like the 3/1 in space.
Yeah.
I think that's very clearly meant for him. Just making sure that it has to be a different unit, so it's not like that 3/1 can keep attacking and giving an advantage to itself. It does have to have another unit to plant that advantage on.
Yeah, but I like him. Just looks like a really solid aggression leader for Red Heroic. I have him at C.
Yep, so do I.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on. Next is the other Red Heroic leader. This is the rare one. It's the Mandalorian. And it says, when you take the initiative, you may pay 1 resource. If you do, draw a card. And then if you got 6 or more resources, he deploys as a 4/6 Mandalorian with support. So as soon as you deploy him, you can attack with another unit right away. And it says, on attack, if you have the initiative, draw a card. You may draw a card. I guess you don't have to. So play pattern is like on the 5 resource turn, you try to take the initiative yourself so that going into the 6R turn, you already have it. So when you deploy him, you can get that on attack and draw a card right away.
So the weirdest thing to me about and this is just completely flavor-wise, about the Mandalorian, is apparently in order to get 1 Mandalorian, you have to squish 2 Cassian leaders together. The first SOR Cassian was all about drawing cards, and the Secrets of Power Cassian was all about having the initiative.
Yeah,
and he's just both of them.
So here's the thing. I think this is one of those leaders that many people who are not as experienced in Limited are going to be very, very excited by him. Because they're
Especially coming from Magic. The Magic players are going to get it the worst because they love drawing cards.
They're thinking like, oh, whenever I take the initiative, I can just draw a card? Well, it's like, well, you got to pay 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's not going to be all the time, and you don't want to underdrop just to draw a card. It's like, yeah, but then when I attack, I get to draw a card? It's like, well, yeah, if you got the initiative. And the thing is, that sounds so exciting because drawing cards feels really, really good. However, in Star Wars Unlimited, when you're playing Draft and Sealed, drawing cards really isn't that helpful. You're already drawing 2 cards a turn. So the likelihood of you ever having like a dead draw turn is very, very minimal. Not impossible, but just very, very minimal. So it's really not giving you that much of an advantage. And for this limited environment, unlike Premiere, there is no, I've got a bunch of cards in my hand payoff. And that's why a lot of people are excited about him for Constructed or Premiere, because there are cards that help you win if you have a bunch of cards in your hand. But we're not playing Premiere, we're playing Limited, and there just isn't a card for that. So it's really not that exciting. And he's a little understated.
I also, just a smidge. I really, kind of going along with my Cassie thing, and what you've already said is he has also collected the weaknesses of both of those Cassian leaders. His drawing cards just isn't as powerful in Star Wars Unlimited as it is in other card games. And initiative matters leaders aren't good when they don't have the initiative. Like they and your opponent has the, anybody can take the initiative at any point. Like they can choose just not to attack with their guy and snake the initiative. Like, you're obviously like the kind of undercurrent on this guy is you want support. You're building support around him, so to make sure you're always your action compression. You're trying to maximize your action compression to make sure you always have the initiative. And that makes sense. There's a lot of just good support cards out there. This set that can really build around him. He suffers from just being not quite as good as most of the others. It's not necessarily that he's even in a vacuum a bad leader. I think it's just that he's just not really as good as a lot of these other leaders in the set.
Yeah, the one thing I will give him is that he kind of lets you maximize your resources when you need to. For some reason you're at the 5 resource turn, you just don't have anything that costs more than 4. Like, well, you can play your 4, and now you got a way of still spending that one last resource to make sure you're maximizing there. That's kind of nice. Yeah.
And I see most of the time when you're doing like these single draw effect cards, I usually just kind of count it as now I have better resourcing choices. Like now I have an extra card in my hand where I can make now I have one more option. It's the least impactful card, and I'm sculpting a hand more.
Yeah, which again, to less experienced players, that does make it easier and seem more exciting. But yeah, I just don't think it's going to be really all that strong. So I'm a little more negative on Mandalorian than I think most people probably are. I've got him at C-.
I also have C-.
Yeah, like if your red heroic pool just looks good enough and your only red heroic leader is Mandalorian, I think you can still play him. But yeah, I just maybe temper your expectations on the whole draw card business.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and finally we are on to our cunning heroes, starting off with Emperor Palpatine. This is the cunning villainy starter leader. So like Luke Skywalker, this will also be available to you during your pre-release. Otherwise, he's only going to show up as a showcase card in those booster packs. So very, very rare. And he says, action exhaust. Choose an exhausted friendly unit. Give an advantage token to it for each other friendly unit. And on deploy, at 7 resources, he becomes a 4/8 Force Imperial Sith official. With on attack, you may choose another exhausted friendly unit. If you do, give an advantage token to it for each other friendly unit. It's all about going wide. Like, you want to have a lot of dudes.
Which is I think they're trying a bunch of different, I think FFG is trying a bunch of different ways to try to make this work, because it's never worked. We've had Captain Rex and other things that have kind of focused on this sort of aspect before, but it's the nature of the game where when you trade actions back and forth, the more units, the opponent is just killing you faster with their larger units that they are always getting the initiative, and you're swinging in with a bunch of 2/2s or whatever, which they may have 1/8/8 and you have 4/2/2s. They're probably winning because they're going to able to just take the initiative. That said, they're 8/8 if it's more susceptible to removal, but like there's just not a lot of removal in this set either. So
yeah, I still don't think you really want to play Emperor Palpatine like a Wave of Babies deck where you're just playing nothing but 2s and 3s and like feel like you're really doing it. I don't think that's really the case. I think it's just a situation where every now and then you can kind of get incidental advantage tokens on something and feel kind of nice. Something I do note where his ability actually works really, really well is you play a Sentinel. And then you get some advantage tokens right away. Because the thing you played is already exhausted. And you start getting some advantage tokens on a Sentinel. So I think he actually makes your Sentinels even better. And if your Sentinel survives an attack, and you're able to activate Emperor Palpatine and give those advantage tokens to him again, that's good. Like, I think that's the most ideal play pattern for him. But that said, like you mentioned, he is slow in always. 7 resource, that's a slow deploy, only hits for 4, not the strongest. Using his ability takes an action, so you're not really going to get the initiative. And if you happen to go wide, you're taking more actions for all of your units. Slow, 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 never really having the initiative. But I kind of like him with them Sentinels.
Yeah. I think he's not in the same way as Thrawn. Like, he's one that really, like, if you are ahead, he's driving you further ahead. You have more units, so you're getting more advantage tokens. Like you're really kind of doing it and just winning harder. I think at parity and behind, he certainly gets much, much worse.
Yeah, and this is not a leader where you're going to end up in that dream scenario where you activate him. You're like, oh, I'm passing out 3-4 advantage tokens to this guy. Oh, that's so cool. It's like, no. Every now and then you'll get 1, maybe 2, and you should be excited by that. And just every now and then you kind of get that bonus, and that's about it. So,
yeah,
I don't hate him.
I don't. But yeah, he's a 7 to play 4/8, which I don't love either. He's not pushing you over. Like, at 7 resources, I need a leader that's finishing the game. That was more like Aura Singh helped you kind of stay in it when she flipped because she killed something automatically, but her stats were horrible.
Yeah.
He's not doing that, and he's not winning me the game very fast. So
yeah, the fact that he cannot give the advantage tokens to himself is quite the drawback. So either way, I still don't hate him. I think it's a C.
I have it a C-. Like, I'm just not thrilled.
Okay.
He's not. He'll, there'll be occasions where, in a pre-release where I'm like, okay, yep, I don't have a villainy leader and my yellow cards are good or whatever.
He probably is like a C-, but again, I think with those Sentinel play pattern, that pushes him up to a C.
Sure.
All right. Next up is our other yellow villainy leader. This is a common. She is Shin Hati, and says, when a friendly unit's attack ends, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, exhaust a unit that costs less than the amount of combat damage dealt to a base this attack, and at 6 resources, she deploys into a 4/6 force unit that says, when a friendly unit's attack ends, you may exhaust a unit that costs less than the amount of combat damage dealt to a base for this attack. Use this ability only once each round. I'm in love.
I knew you would be.
This looks really, really good to me. This looks excellent. I really like Shin Hati. I think that's a very strong ability.
Yeah, I wrote the first line that I wrote is, this might be the first time that a tap leader might actually be able to tap the opponent's best unit. With the initiative, you attack with your best guy.
Yeah.
And you down whoever their best guy was, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big thing, is that this is a leader, like, it really rewards you for having the initiative, and you're going to want to aggressively make sure you have the initiative. If you start with it, even better. So
the problem is, like, these struggle because when you tap down their guys, they have fewer actions to take, so they take the initiative faster than you. So it kind of works in like this cyclical cycle where they get it and then you get it back. So you have to really be good at managing it and know when to just not attack with your dopey unit to get, the 2 damage may not be worth it in order to make sure you get the initiative to attack with your bigger unit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, there's going to be a little bit of a dance to it, but man, yeah, this just seems so good to me, where even again, we go, you have They have a 3 out, you have a 4 out, you've got the initiative, you attack with your 4, and you do enough damage to exhaust their 3. That's still saving your units from a lot of damage or saving your base from a lot of damage. And having that be, having even have that happen twice or 3 times throughout any single game, that is such a huge advantage. And that just looks excellent to me.
Yeah, and I think there's a big part of like it frees you up to be incredibly aggressive, because now you normally like, oh, you're playing this dance like, oh, I'm going to trade into your unit or whatever. Like, just going to, if I get the ability to just tap down your unit, I'm going to go to base with my guy every time and just tap that guy down and make you have to deal with, like, I think it'll put you ahead fast enough that they're going to put them on the back foot, and they're going to really need to attack into you to start trading out units.
And as soon as that starts happening, generally that means you're already winning. So I am in for Shinhati. This is another leader I have at B.
I have her at B minus. She's 4/6. Like she is missing that extra stat point.
Yeah, one less stat point, but I understand that because her ability is really, really strong.
It's really strong, and I think it's just like when you do lose the initiative and things like that, she goes back to being a kind of just okay tap leader, which is what all the other ones are.
Again, I think getting any tap ability off just seems really good. But yeah. But either way, Shinhati is in that B range and seems excellent.
Yeah.
Next up, we have our yellow heroic leaders. This is our common one. It's Grief Karga. And it says, when you play or create a unit, so it counts for tokens too, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, give an advantage token to that unit. And if you have 6 resources, he deploys as a 4/7 official and says, when you play or create a unit, give an advantage token to that unit.
I want to be in the meeting where they talked about all the leaders and be like, yep, they all seem equal. Yep, good. Grief's good. Yep, okay, cool. Let's go.
Yeah, this is...
Ezra has to attack with a 3-power unit, get into damage the base, and then that can't even give the advantage to its own. It has to give it to somebody else. He's just like, oh, no, you just play guys and give it to him, right? Yeah.
Well...
You just play guys. That's the stipulation for his ability. You play guys.
Yeah, that's all Grief Karga says. Just you play a dude, and it just makes it better.
It turns out you have like usually about 25 of those in your deck.
Yeah, so he is the closest thing to the experience-giving leader of this format. And you know what? This is the most balanced one they've done yet. Because the advantage token is only +1,
really
+0,
yeah.
And it's temporary.
Yes.
Whereas, someone like Ezra's defense, it can be repeatable where you kind of like start daisy chaining them back and forth to push the damage. They only get it when they're deployed, and like that's it. So if they get sentinel, they get ambushed, whatever.
I think that just puts you like it gives you an advantageous, like your 2-drop.
It is, yeah.
You play your 2/3, and it's a 3/3, and theirs is still just a 2/3.
Yeah.
You kill theirs, don't die back, and you're ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is your sealed pool fixer. Where if you're not sure what to do, you play Grief Karga, because basically when you go through the rest of our set review, any single unit that we say, if it's in your Grief Karga deck, just add like a plus to whatever that letter grade is. All your C's are now C pluses. All your C pluses are now B minuses. All your B minuses are now B's, because just starting off with that one extra power makes a huge difference. And will just make so many of your cards even just incrementally more playable. And again, thankfully, it is still the quote-unquote most balanced because it is super temporary.
Yep.
But it's still really, really good.
And no health. Like that's almost one of the worst parts about the +1/+1 counters is just pushing it that much further out of range of killing it. So giving it just the +1/+0, being temporary. That being said, I think, and he like Shinhati's ability is powerful, yes, and like that's why they shaved a point of health off of her. His is incredibly potent, but he got the 7th point of health.
Yeah, he's still a 4/7 for some reason. Plus, when he is deployed, every unit you play that turn gets the advantage token rather than just the one. So if you need to multi-deploy, like you're just getting more advantage tokens out there. So yeah, Grief Karga just seems is probably the best leader in the set. Maybe not the most exciting one, because there's not a lot of thought process going on there. You're just kind of doing it. But it seems very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I wrote a leader and unit side that are incredibly free and reward you for doing what you were planning to do anyway. No extra hoops to jump through. Once you start being able to utilize this on ambushers, a common sight in yellow decks anyway, this leader really starts to go off. All that wrapped up with the classic good 6 deploy leader stats package, and baby, you got yourself a stew.
You got yourself a stew goblin. Yeah, that was the other thing I wrote down. Is like he's just amazing with ambushers and sentinels, but he just makes every single unit you play better, and that's just it. Period. Not much more to say about it. I have him at B+.
I'm an A-. Come on, man. So good.
I wouldn't. It's hard to say any particular leader is necessarily like an A-level bomb. I get what you're saying, though. I don't personally want to push it that way. Like, I feel like that should be some really powerful stuff.
Sure.
But again, it's just advantage tokens. It is kind of temporary. So I'll still say B+, but yeah, he's just kind of...
My argument for A- will be, if you have a leader that makes every single card in your deck go up by a half-letter grade, that seems pretty freaking good.
That's fair. Yeah, you would just kind of play it. Yeah. Yeah, Grief Karga. Yeah. And he's common.
Yep.
Why is he common? Because we still have our rare yellow heroic leader.
We sure do.
It's Grogu. Grogu says... And then it says, if you play a unique unit that costs 4 or more, if this leader is ready, you may deploy him. So if you didn't catch that, Grogu has no other text. But if you play a unique unit that costs 4 or more while Grogu is a readied leader, you may deploy him. He deploys as a 0/3 force unit. And it says, while another friendly unit is defending, it gets +1/+0. And while another friendly unit is attacking, the defending unit gets -1/-0. So...
I'm going to start with my letter grade on this one before I even go into the...
Sure. I'll do mine too.
I wrote D??
I wrote F??
Okay, that's probably also fair. Like,
and I wrote F?? Because it's... What I also wrote down was like... How many unique units will you really have that you get to do the thing with Grogu?
I imagine you just do it like you deploy this guy once with your unique or whatever, and your opponent's like, okay, and they just don't kill him, and you just do whatever the hell you want. Like, I mean,
maybe.
Know. He has A+ art though. Can I say that?
Yeah,
like, he may be a D or an F, but he is A+ art on that one.
I don't know. I feel like maybe his text when he's deployed is just annoying enough that it kind of forces your opponent to deal with it. If that's the case, you have a pseudo repeatable 0/3 pseudo sentinel, kind of.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I kind of had like a little bit of my view on him poisoned because I was just, I was watching somebody who was doing like early testing for constructed in Ashes, and I watched somebody try to make him work in a blue force. So like his deck is full of, is full of unique units and things like that. And granted, obviously constructed is a more powerful set or whatever, but people were just kind of like, okay, I kill you. Just like,
okay.
Grogu, they literally never bothered to even kill Grogu. They just were like, yeah, I'm just doing better. My leader actually matters and does stuff, and yours is just kind of like, he's just a cute little boy there, and I'm just going to leave him alone.
Yeah, you're making him sound more like an F than...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think a part of me wanted him to be like, maybe okay, because he's just so damn cute.
I kind of wanted to because like the text is kind of neat and like a repeatable leader deploy where all you have to do is play another good unit. That all sounds good on paper, but again, this is limited and you're going to have way less unique units than you think. And any given sealed pool, when you put together a deck, you have maybe 4 or 5 actual named unique units, and they have to cost 4 or more. And then in draft, you're still really not going to get that many more. Because most of the unique units are going to be at the uncommon level or higher. So you're really not going to have that much. So I just don't think it really works. I have Grogu at F.
Yeah, it probably is. Maybe he's the secret, like, he's the secret sauce we've been waiting for like twin sons and constructed for plot. He's just,
it could
all the
be.
other ones have like they cost something. You have to spend 2 resources.
Oh, like repeatable plot.
Yeah, for the repeatable plot effects and things like that. And he's the only one who does it for free.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he is just more of a twin sons card.
I don't know.
All right, well, all right, so that's all the leaders. Now we actually get to move on to the rares and legendaries. So we're going to go through these in card number order, which means we're actually going to start off with the multicolored cards, just in order. So the very first one we have is, I actually don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Enoch? Enoch?
I think it's I'm always going to pronounce it as Enoch, but
Enoch.
All
right, I'll say Enoch. This is a 4-cost blue-green Villainy 4/5 Imperial Trooper at rare, and says, when defeated, you may deal up to 6 damage to your base. The next unit you play this phase costs 1 less for every 2 damage dealt this way. So if you really want to flex, you could say I deal 3 damage to my own base. I play something for 1 less.
When I first read this, I read it as 5 and not 6, and I was trying to I was struggling to wrap my mind around like why 5? What am I missing? And then I was like, oh, I'm missing that I can't read numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
I almost considered giving this guy a split grade, not for like draft versus sealed, but like the highs on this guy are going to be insanely high, and the lows on him are going to just be just the bottom of the barrel. Like,
yeah,
he is a
4/5 for 4. That's on rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the main thing that I wrote down was that if you're in a position where you can deal damage to your base, whether that's 6 or whatever, that is going to push you ahead. So if you're already winning, you're going to be really ahead.
Yeah.
But that is a hefty cost of wanting to damage yourself that much. And maybe there is something like, I don't know, for 7-8 resources that you intentionally yeet him into an opponent's unit that he dies on purpose so you can set yourself up for it. But
yeah,
6 is a hefty cost.
It's damage to base. Like, it's just that's really, really rough. I had almost the exact like verbatim, like when you can trade him when defeated and you're already ahead, you're very likely winning the game. When you're behind, this guy he's just not going to do very much.
Yeah, he will help you win more.
Yes.
And that's about it. Other than that, he's just kind of an on-rate unit with every now and then, I think his ability does kind of help you out a little bit. So I had him at C+.
I know it's C, but I could see C+ as well.
Yeah, I mean, on-rate unit, I give him the plus just because there will be those fringe occasions where like, oh yeah, sure, now I get to play my Rancor or whatever.
Sure.
Next up, we have Paz Vizsla. This is the 5-cost blue-green heroic rare unit, a 4/7 Mandalorian with Sentinel, and says, when defeated, if this unit was not defeated by combat damage, create 2 Mandalorian tokens, and those are the 2/2 with shields. So if your opponent uses a removal event on Paz Vizsla of any kind, you get 2 Mandalorians out of it.
This guy is wow. Like just one of the most outright best Sentinels in the game. Like, yes. I cannot even believe that this is a card. 4/7 is the stat line that I absolutely want my 5-cost Sentinel to have. Other than like obviously like a 10/10, whatever. But like, it's one that was just outstanding and punishes players for removing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's insane.
A 4/7 at 5, those are leader stats.
Yeah.
He's better than some leaders.
He is better than some leaders.
Yeah, this is just crazy good and crazy powerful. This is actually one of the cards.
You play this with Sabine, and you give him the shield.
Oh,
come on,
brutal.
Man.
Yeah. This is a card that I actually would probably pay 7 for. Like, I'm playing this out of aspect.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
he's so strong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have met A.
Yeah, he is like the textbook A.
Yeah, this is exactly what you're looking for. Like, if you're ahead, you're really gonna like pressure that advantage. If you're behind, this stabilizes you like you wouldn't believe. If you're at parity, well, suddenly you got this big wall that is gonna be very difficult for your opponent to deal with. All this for 5. Yeah, Paz Vizsla is excellent. Next up, we have the Scorpionic Annihilator Droid. This is a 6-cost blue-green. Oh, I'm sorry, this is an uncommon card. He's not supposed to be here. Oh, I think my thing is not working.
Uh-oh.
They're supposed to not show
I
up.
can tell you it's supposed to be Hera Syndulla.
Actually, I have Merrick.
Oh, sorry. Yep. I missed mine.
Yep. Next up is Merrick. Apologies. Merrick is a 3-cost blue-red villainy rare 2/6 Force Inquisitor, who's also a Sentinel. But also says while this unit is upgraded, he loses Sentinel and gains Saboteur.
I like his design space. It's very fun. Like, you get like, I especially love him with advantage tokens. It's like, oh, he has the advantage tokens. He gains Saboteur. He gets his attack in, and then he loses the advantage token, and he goes back to being a Sentinel.
Yeah, I wrote down I think I prefer him being a Sentinel.
I would agree. Which is why I think I'm not permanently upgrading this guy by any means, but like something temporary, like a shield or an advantage token, I could definitely see.
Yeah. So I think I prefer him being a Sentinel, but he can get advantaged up when that sequencing works out for you. Like if there's like a support, give something advantage and attack in, like because then you get that free attack with him anyway. Yeah, and then you still got that Sentinel out of it. But otherwise, this is just a thick, big butt Saboteur that's going to be annoying for your opponent to deal with. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I would say he's closer to like being annoying than like truly powerful. Granted, he's sitting next to what might just be the best Sentinel that's been printed in a very long time, which kind of makes him look a little bit weaker. I have him just like a C+.
I also met C+, yeah. Okay. I don't think he's crazy good or anything like that, but like that's a pretty good cheap Sentinel.
He's a good roadblock.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy playing that. All right, next is Hera Syndulla. She is the 3-cost blue-red heroic unit at rare. She's a 3/4 New Republic Twi'lek Spectre and says when attack ends, if this unit dealt combat damage to a base, heal that much damage from your base. So
like true lifelink, but only when you attack base.
So kind of a 3/4 restore 3 kind of.
Obviously wears advantage and things like that.
Oh yeah,
remarkably well.
Any upgrades? Yeah, that's a huge base health swing.
Right. That said, like she's not like her stats aren't knocking me out of the park or anything like that, and she does have to deal the damage to base. And there's a lot of Sentinels in this set, so it's like if she's not doing literally anything, she's a 3-cost 3/4 when there's something in her way or when you need to have her attack other units. That said, like unless they are Sentinels, I'm always going to base with Hera because the swing is just there's no reason for me to spend her into other units. Like 3 health, like the 6 health swing technically, but the 3 health restore from your base is going to be just good enough to warrant not attacking her into other units ever.
And she is still a 3-cost 3/4, which that's on rate. And I think every now and then you just kind of get that extra. I guess like so on the 3 resource turn 2, that's just good. You play her and you kind of feel good about it, and this kind of forces your opponent to start swinging their units into yours because otherwise you just get to attack their base and you heal all that damage anyway. That gives you the advantage. And then if you have to play her in the later game, turn 5 or 6 or whatever it is, then like, yeah, she is representing like a 6-point base damage swing with every attack.
I think she has the pseudo Sentinel tag on her. Like I can't imagine that you just let her stay on the board.
Yes, exactly. I like her. I had her at C+.
I also have her at C+. Yeah.
All right, cool. Up next is Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is the 7-cost green-red villainy Imperial official 5/7 rare unit. with support. And it says, when attack ends, if the defending unit was defeated, ready this unit. So kind of like Mace Windu from...
Right, only he doesn't have ambush, but he kind of does. He has ambush, but he gives the ambush away to his friend to ambush. And you have to hope that his friend is good enough to make use of the ability. We're getting into like that. I've become a little bit stricter on grading on 7 cost. Anything like 6, 7, 8, and beyond. I think the last set, especially, and I think this set will be no different, proves that you really have to do something when you come in. And he does something when he comes in, provided that you have a strong unit that can take advantage of his ability.
Yeah. I have one spot where I actually do really like him.
Okay.
And that's if you're playing a leader that deploys on 6.
Sure. Yeah.
Or even, I guess, 7 for that matter, where you can deploy your leader and then go into Thrawn and use that support with your leader, because your leader is going to be the most likely one to be able to survive the attack and then be able to ready again right away.
Right. Often giving, these different leaders with on-attack abilities and things like that. Notably, you can't play Thrawn in Thrawn because he's like red. What is he? Red green or?
Yeah, this is red green and Thrawn leader's blue.
Yeah. So like the leader I think they probably did that slightly on purpose, because getting to attack again with Thrawn leader, although Thrawn leader is 8 cost, so like
that's busted.
Different, but I have him at B-. I just, like I said, I'm going to be a little bit more critical on these 7 deploys that don't actually like do something themselves. And like he does require you to have something else.
I have him at C+.
Okay.
Just because I think there will be situations where, again, I think it really needs to be your leaders that this war happens on, because everything else is going to be too squishy and not likely to survive its own attack. If it was something cute where you could like go into the opponent's base and still get to ready afterwards, then it'd be really, really good. Other than that, like a 7 cost 5/7 is a little lower.
Yeah, the stats are.
Yeah, like if I'm paying 7,
he technically has Mace Windu stats too. So.
This has Kessel Hulk stats.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, so I
That's
think
exactly the comparison you want to make, right?
Yeah, I would lean C+ personally.
Okay.
All right. Our next rare card is Wicket Yubnub. He is a 1-cost green-red heroic 3/3 Ewok at rare. He has Saboteur, and this unit can't attack bases.
He sure does.
Yep.
I actually didn't read his.
You missed the Yubnub?
I missed it. That's the best. He makes A. He's an A now.
Yeah, so him not being able to attack bases sucks. That's a bummer.
I'm not 100% sure how to evaluate this card, but I think he still probably makes every sealed deck that I play.
I think you still play him no matter what. Like as a 1-cost 3/3 that can take out Sentinels or take out their shields or just threaten 3 damage for 1?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't
you? The most common stat line in this for your 2-cost, your turn 1 play is a 2/3.
Yeah.
He's probably going to 2 for. He may not get any damage into base, but he almost guarantees 2 for 1s. As a 1-drop, which how can you ask for more out of your 1-drop?
Paying just 1 resource for that is insane. That just I think Wicked's still very, very good, and you play them. If you're red green heroic, I think you just play them because that's just an overstated 1-drop. I still have him at C+.
Same, and I think his Saboteur, like even their shields aren't saving them. Like he's.
Yep.
Yeah, you do not. You can't hide behind a shield against this Ewok. He'll get you.
All right. Next rare card is Rook or Ruck. Is it? I want to say Rook.
I think it's Ruck.
Ruck.
Sure.
Ruck.
Yeah.
He's a 3-cost green, yellow, Villainy rare unit, a 1/5 Imperial with support, and says when the attack ends, if the defending unit was defeated, you may give 3 advantage tokens to a unit. So here's one of those ways of getting those advantage tokens spread around.
Not my favorite way of doing it.
Me neither.
You're getting him from his support because you're never getting him from his own. Like his own on attack is.
I think this is the play pattern for him. Ready?
Okay.
You play Ruck. He gets the support.
Mm-hmm.
You attack with your other unit. The other units defeat something. You give those advantage tokens to Ruck. Now, when Ruck attacks something, he kills something using those advantage tokens. You get the advantage tokens back again.
Okay.
I think it's basically what you have to do with him, because otherwise he is worthless.
Yes. I didn't see that pattern to him. I like that a little bit more. I gave him an original D, but like maybe he's closer to like a C- or something.
Yeah, I still have him at C-. I still wasn't that high on him because like that's, you kind of have to jump through a lot of hoops to get that. I mean, 3 advantage tokens isn't nothing, but I kind of wrote down that he's basically kind of like a weird combat trick pump, kinda.
That's a common theme that I have on my cards that give advantage to is it's kind of like stapling like a +2/+0 or a +3/+0 combat trick to a guy most of the time. Yeah,
so I see the play pattern with him. I still don't love him. I still got him at C-, but like there is something there for sure, but it is weird. Yeah. It is weird, and I think that, and again, like if you get those advantage tokens on him, like, oh yeah, now I've got the 4/5, and your opponent just sends a wicket into it. And it's like, well, now I've got this one with 2 hit points left. So, not amazing, but there's something. Our next rare card is Red Leader. This is a 7-cost green, yellow, heroic space unit, a 6/6 rebel vehicle fighter with support, and says, this unit may attack units in either arena. You can send Wicket to space, baby.
Oh, God.
Yup.
Because you know he's still around on the 7 resource turn. Yeah, I think again we're hitting that 7 resource cost, and he's depending on having another ability, having another unit in play. Ideally, it's your leader, your leader being able to smash a spaceship. Kind of sweet. That being said, you know, like I will always be a little bit harsher on things that require another card to be good. This one I think I bumped up a little bit because I do like the ability. Like I always see space as kind of like a pseudo, like a protected zone. It's not nearly the same as having like flying in Magic or something like that, where it's true evasion, but like being able to crush their ground units. You know, you kill their 4/4 or whatever with your 6/6, and normally you'd have to be like, okay, yep, now he gets cleaned up by, you know, their 2 cost 2/2 or something like that. And you know, I still 2 for 1, but now he just like stays up there and stays protected in space with 4 damage on him or something like that. That's great. Yeah, and in a way where you have to make sure it stays protected because the space arena usually is interacted with less. You play the Red Leaner, use that support ability, and you attack with a ground unit into your opponent's space unit to help make sure the Red Leader sticks around. And then you got this 6/6 in space. So I think the action compression alone helps him a lot because you do get that immediate effect when you play him. And there is something to being able to hit on either arena with your unit's attack, or you can just go straight to their base. It doesn't really matter. I think it's flexible enough that I do like it. It's not like an amazing game-winning bomb or anything because it is only a 6/6 at 7 resources, but it's still pretty big, especially in the space arena. So I have it at C+. I gave it a standard C, but yeah, I could definitely. I could be pushed up to C+ on it. Okay. Our
next rare card is Balin's Skull. This is a rare unit. 6 for a red, yellow Villainy 6/6 force unit. He has Overwhelm. And it says, when played and when the attack ends, if an enemy base was damaged this phase, give an advantage token to a unit. If a friendly upgrade was defeated this phase, you may exhaust a unit. Huh?
Yeah, he's a six cost 6/6 that does some really relevant pieces here. It starts he's an engine all by himself, right? You know,
Yeah.
he's doing this advanced thing. It's the unfortunate piece of this is you want an engine earlier in the game. Typically, like when you're starting an engine on the 6 resource turn, it's not as you don't have as many turns to power and get the engine going, kind of thing like that. But like it does, like exhausting a unit. You know, I know you're like I should have just let you talk because anytime a card says exhaust a unit, I should just leave it to you. But he's good.
This looks really good to me, and all he's really asking for is have an advantage token by the time you play him, because it says on when played as well. So you send in whatever unit with an advantage token, you get that damage in. The advantage token is then defeated. You get to play Balin's Skull, and since you on the play had an advantage token already defeated from another unit's attack, he has a 6/6 exhaust something. And if you happen to hit the opponent's base with that attack, you also get an advantage token to whatever unit, whether it's Balin's Skull himself or someone else. I do think it works the best on Balin's Skull, because then he's a 7/6 for 6. And then when you get to do your next attack with Balin's Skull, deal 7 damage to something, he loses the advantage token, but a friendly upgrade was defeated when his attack ends, allowing you to exhaust something else. Like, I don't think he is asking for a lot to just be really, really good.
Yeah, I think his the only difference I have for him is that he comes. Hopefully, the game is at parity or something like that when you are at your 6 resource turn, because he really needs he needs time and space to kind of get this going, and he will, if you let him live, he will absolutely take over the game. But
I just realized. I only just now remembered the fact that he does have Overwhelm, so he can start cleaning up units, still Overwhelm damage into the base, and still get all those effects. Yeah, I'm in for all of that. But like you said, it's not like super amazing, especially at the 6 cost, because we've seen 6/6s for 5. Mm-hmm. But I do like everything he's got going on here. I've got him at B.
I have him at B as well.
Yeah. I really like this card. Like this one a lot. All right, B for Balin's Skull. Our next one is another rare unit. It's, speaking of, Poe Dameron. This is a 2-cost red-yellow heroic unit. He's a 3/3 with resistance and says, all units lose Sentinel.
Yeah, he's just good. He's a 2-cost 3/3 and one of the only ones in the set. And the only one, I think he might be the only one that doesn't have a drawback because he's a rare. Yeah. This goes in your deck every time.
This is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, he is a 2-cost 3/3 and those are premium, and you want those. The all units lose Sentinel thing. Maybe later in the late game you can kind of get a little cutesy and you play that to help make sure you push the last couple of base damage points in. And I do like that he is in red-yellow, which is typically a much more aggressive color combination, because you're not really looking to play Sentinels yourself, because otherwise he does negate your own Sentinels.
Right.
But if you're not worried about it, then he's a 3/3 that kind of cripples your opponent's defenses. But
it shows my state of mind where I literally didn't even cross my mind that he's canceling out my own Sentinels, because who has time for Sentinels? I can be killing my opponent.
See, we are very different players. But yeah, that's a 3/3 for 2. I am at C+.
Yeah, I'm a B. He just goes in every every deck you can play him in. Like, the 3/3s are extremely premium, especially with there's tons of 2/2s, 2/3s, and just all these dopey he kills every turn 1 play and doesn't die back in most cases. Like there's a couple of fringe cases where he does, but
I'll meet you in the middle and say B-, because he's not game warping or anything like that, but that's a solid unit. But if I was sitting down at the draft and it's pick 6 and I say Poe Dameron, it's like, oh, these colors are open.
Yeah,
sure, that makes sense. All right, move on to our next rare card. It's Jabba the Hutt. This is a 4-cost yellow-blue Villainy unit at rare, a 2/6 underworld Hutt with Restore 2, and when played, you may return an upgrade to its owner's hand. If it's returned to your hand, you may play it for free. Solid.
Yeah, I think the 2/6 with like restore 2, and on like this restore 2 is hitting on like a key, like the 4 resource turn, where this restore 2 is really going to impact the game. Like if this guy gets to get a couple attacks, and he's not doing much damage at the base, but he is really saving your base a significant amount. I think his when played is fringe at best, probably.
Yeah, in my head, I think the most ideal situation is you get rid of one of their shields.
Yeah.
Which is not nothing.
Right. I think, yeah, I don't imagine like, oh, yeah, there's many upgrades. I'm like, yeah, I really want to return this, unless you're returning it and like playing it on a different unit or something like that, for returning your own upgrades. I have him at like a C plus or a B minus, just based on like, I think he's really hard to deal with, and he's just going to sit there restoring 2. Like
I have that C plus just for that. Yeah, good. He's got good restore, solid stats, and I think every now and then I don't really see a play pattern when I'm wanting to play upgrades and I get to bounce it and replay it and get like another powerful when played ability or anything like that, because there's nothing crazy that you're really going to get out of it in this set. But yeah, I think the restore is good, and he can be annoying.
Yeah.
So our next rare card is the 2-cost Corona 4. This is a yellow-blue heroic space unit. It is a 2/3 rebel vehicle fighter that says on attack, you may give a unit -2/-0 for this phase. And it also says when defeated, you may defeat a non-leader unit with 0 power.
They reprinted the Canyon Frontrunner, made it harder to cast, and actually made it rare this time.
And better.
Turns out that's still good, and now it's better.
Yeah, now just anytime you attack, you -2/-0 something. That's all I really want. The rest of the text is like, I guess you can -2/-0 something and happen to bring it down to 0 power, but if you are just shrinking your opponent's attacks, that's saving your units, that's saving yourself base damage, like that's great. We saw how good that was on Canyon Frontrunner, and it's very good here.
And now they put it in space again, kind of that more protected sort of area. Like it's. I imagine you play this thing on turn 1, and it either just doesn't die, or it gets at least 6, if not like 8 damage into base.
Probably
it finally eats it.
Yeah, this card seems great. If you can turn 1 this card, like you're so far ahead, especially if you keep that initiative.
Yeah.
A for Corona 4.
I had it an A minus just because I was too afraid to give it an A.
Yeah, it might be more A- because less good once you get in, if you're not playing in the early turns, it is less good. Yeah, I'll go down to A-. I think you're right there, but it's certainly up there, and mostly basing that off of our Canyon Frontrunner.
Yeah,
experience.
I think this card will just do work.
Yes. That is all the multicolor cards. Now we get to move on to blue. And we're going to start off with our first blue rare card. It's Gar Saxon. This is a 3-cost blue Villainy 3/4 Mandalorian Trooper, and it says, when you play an upgrade on this unit, you may create a Mandalorian token. Use this ability only once each round. That seems really good to me.
Yeah, so obviously another like advantage or shield kind of thing like that, where you're not playing, it's probably not counting you playing like actual physical, cards from hand onto it. I did scribble down a note that it is when you play an upgrade on this unit, so this doesn't count when your opponent plays something that one of the negative effects on it, that does not count. You don't get to make your Mandalorian. Right. This is something that I guarantee people will, your opponents or it will get messed up. Make sure that you understand that.
That's a strong ability, though. If you're like getting any kind of advantage tokens and you're just getting a free 2/2 out of it, that's great.
Yeah. Unfortunately, blue is not one of the advantage colors, so you're going to need to pair with red or yellow to do this.
And I'm not sure how well that color combination can really do the thing.
Right.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
But there's not a ton of like super like repeatable advantage effects.
Yeah.
So like you're probably not doing this every turn. Like you are probably getting it a couple times, but even just getting it once is you're doing it. Getting it twice, you're holy crap.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is a 3/4 for 3 on rate.
Yes,
good, solid, and then it just has a very relevant ability where, yeah, I would be ecstatic if I even just get the one. So if I'm playing Blue Villainy at all, like I'm playing Gar Saxon every single time. I've got him at B.
Yeah.
All right.
I had him at a B minus, but yeah, I think
B minus for him. Yeah. Nah, I like B. You get a free 2/2 out of it. I like that a lot. All right, up next is a legendary. This is the Chimera. This is a 7-cost Blue Villainy 6/6 space unit, an Imperial vehicle capital ship. And it says, when played, you may choose a friendly unit and an enemy non-leader unit. If you do, defeat those units. When an enemy unit is defeated, heal 2 damage from your base. I'm a little bummed this can't hit leaders, but still pretty good.
yeah, but still pretty. I have this as like I think literally I'm going, yeah, you should play this.
I'm not as high on it, I don't think, as you are.
Really?
Like, I still like it, but I'm not like crazy about it.
I don't know. You kill your weakest unit, their best unit, and you heal 2. And then if this sticks around, any time an enemy unit is defeated, you're healing 2.
I guess I saw worlds where I'm potentially deploying this onto an empty board. Like, I have no units, or my only other unit out is my leader. Like, do I want to defeat my leader to defeat their non-leader and just heal 2?
I think this is good.
I mean, it's still very good. Like, I had it at B minus, just because, the whole like sacrificing your own unit to like set this up or whatever. I'm not huge on that because you're not getting that much of a card advantage that way. I don't know. I still like it. I had it at B minus, so I think it's
okay.
Probably going to end up mostly having an upside every single time you play it, but I do see situations where it just won't feel good.
Okay. I would come down as like B plus or A minus, but like I think this is still.
Oh wow! So you're really high on it. You're much higher. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is going to be very good.
Interesting. This is normally the card that I'm higher on, but I don't know.
I know. This is another one where I've seen poison. Like it's seeing an immense amount of constructed play right now, and it has been absolutely absurd and constructed.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll come up to a B and leave it at that.
I can be there. Yeah.
Okay. Our next rare card is Pre-Vizsla. This is a legendary unit, an 8-cost Blue Villainy, 6/6 Mandalorian official that says, when played, defeat any number of non-leader units with a total of 6 or less remaining hit points. Create a Mandalorian token for each unit defeated this way. Now, this I know is good.
Yes.
Like, this is the exact kind of card that you want to see when you're playing something for 8. If it says you play this, kill something, and you get another unit out of it, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah. I wrote this is an A plus ability, but it is cost 8, which like brings it down just like a little bit. Like,
yeah, it does. Like that, the 8 cost is very, very expensive, and it is important to note that it does say any number of non-leader units. You could defeat your own.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got like a 2/1 remaining, or one of your Mandalorian tokens is a 2/1 and lost their shield, just kill them and refresh them and to get another shielded 2/2 instead.
Or it has a win ability.
Or has a when defeated ability. Yeah, absolutely. Like you've got a Chimera out, or not Chimera. I don't know what, Rick the Door Technician or whatever.
Well, not this set either. There's only a couple of when defeated in this set, but yeah. There's a couple of them, the when defeated on them are typically decent. So
yeah, but really the main thing is like when you play them, you're going to kill something, and you also get a extra unit out of it, and that is just good. It does cost 8 though. And that's the only thing bringing it down.
And this is like a lot like the Nothing Left to Fear. This quote unquote goes through shields. It just cares about how much remaining health they have.
You're not doing damage.
It's not doing damage to them. It's
you're just defeating them. Right.
Yeah.
So because it's expensive, I had it at A minus.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay, cool. Our next rare card is an upgrade. Whoops, I gotta find it. There it is. The Blade of Talzin.
Yep.
This is a 2-cost rare upgrade. Blue, Villainy. It gives +2/+1 attached to a non-vehicle unit and says, when defeated, if this upgrade was on a friendly knight unit, return this upgrade from your discard pile to your hand.
This card should read in limited, 2 cost, +2/+1.
Yep. There are 3 knight units in this entire set. You're not gonna pop off with this. It's not a thing.
No. That said, upgrades are always good. I prefer mine to give me at least 1 health, which this does. I have it just as a straight C. Just upgrades themselves are in formats where you don't have meaningful removal will always just kind of be okay. But this one is just +2/+1 for 2.
I had it at C-. The reason being, I think the baseline is that a 2-cost upgrade gives +2/+2. That's kind of what we've seen before. So this one only giving +2/+1 makes it a little lower than that. But that is still an upgrade on stats. So I had C- personally. All right, our next card is actually a starter deck card. So again, this will only show up if you get a foil version of it, basically. And this is Leia Organa. This is a 3-cost Vigilance Heroic ground unit. She's a 3/4 rebel official with support and says, on attack, you may deal 1 damage to this unit. If you do, deal 2 damage from your base. I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to decide when you play it, because you're dealing 1, you don't want to do this to one of your units early on in the game. So if you play your 2-drop and then you play your 3, even if they swung into your base and dealt your base 2, dealing 1 damage to your unit just to heal those 2 bases off probably brings it down to either unfavorably trading now or just trading trading out maybe. I just don't see an area where that's where I want to be. That 1 health really means a lot in the early game. Playing her and using her support a little bit later in the game, I think is probably where she will be better.
Yeah, she is. And she is a 3/4 for 3, which, on rate. But I think there'll just be situations where you need to attack one of your units into one of your opponents. They're going to die anyway. Leia supports them. You might as well get the restore 2 out of it. That's the way I saw it. If they have a sentinel or something that you have to swing into, and just, if you're already expecting a trade out and they're already expected to die, just play that Leia and get that restore 2. I think that's where the play pattern is. And then in a pinch, she can just be a 3/4 for 3 on that second turn when you need it. So
I think, you have to be a little bit careful and engineer her turns a little bit more. It's just not just I just play her and just do, I play 2/3 on curve and just do her ability right away. I think you do need to make sure you're playing effectively with her. Yeah,
exactly. So C+ because of that action compression plus on rate stats with potential upside.
Yeah. I think, I have her at C+. Sorry, I missed what you're...
Yeah, C+.
C+, okay.
Up next is our next rare card. We're in the blue heroic section now, in case you couldn't tell. This is Cobb Vanth, a 4-cost blue heroic rare unit. It's a 2/6 official with grit. And it says, when you play another unit, you may deal 2 damage to Cobb Vanth. If you do, give a shield token to that unit. So the new one you played. I kind of like them.
I like them a lot. I love the design of this card.
Yeah.
He comes down at the right time, ideally enough health to trigger that ability at least once and still trade with something meaningful or crack the base for a meaningful amount of damage. I think I'm going to love playing this card and kind of hate playing against it a lot of the time. It just seems good.
The fact that he also has grit just makes him really, really good.
Yeah.
And because of that, the way you can see him is that he is a 4-cost 4/4. Because as soon as you play your 5-drop, you just use Cobb Vanth to give your 5-drop a shield. That's really strong.
Yeah. he almost like pseudo has like Sabine's ability. Like your next
Yeah.
opponent or the next unit you play gets a shield. You know.
Yeah, and all it costs is you're giving Cobb Math +2/-2 just to do that. That seems really good.
Yeah. I think a lot of what this will turn into is like, okay, your opponent probably, I mean, they're hoping to deal 4 damage to him just so that when he does, it gives you the choice, right? Like, okay, he has 4 damage on him. Am I sacking him to give my next guy a shield or whatever? But it's dangerous, right? Because if you attack into him without killing him, he's now a 6/2.
Yep.
Like,
he's getting bigger. Yeah, like that's still quite the threat. Yeah, so he's also just really, really flexible and just makes your next play better.
Yeah. I have him at a B, but he probably is a B plus. Like, I don't know, a B for sure. I don't think I would ever go any lower than B on him. But
I would go B plus.
Okay.
Sure. I think I also kind of in my head I think I have him at B. And as we talked about it, I was like, oh no, this is really good.
Yeah.
I'll bump him up to B plus. All right, our next rare card is the Mandalorian. This is a legendary 4-cost blue heroic ground unit, a 5/4 Mandalorian with shielded. And it says, if damage would be dealt to another friendly unit, you may defeat a shield token on this unit. If you do, prevent that damage. Now, this is just good.
He's just really, really, going to be so annoying to play against and lovely to play with him. I have him as an A. Like, this card is just going to be a menace. Like, going to want to save event removal for this one. Like, he's got to be a lightning rod. You need to kill him. Yeah, and have him.
Annoying, hard to deal with, and hits pretty hard. Again, to kind of compare, because this is a legendary card. An equivalent common card we had before was Coruscant City Police, which was a 4-cost 5/4 that did nothing. Yes. This is a 5/4 shielded for 4. So he represents
other relevant text on it too. Yeah. It's just.
And then if you got something really, really strong, you'd rather protect instead. Mandalorian helps do that. Like, that seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. A for Mandalorian.
Such a flexible good card. Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, our next card is Bo-Katan's Gauntlet, which is not an upgrade. It is a space unit. This is a 5-cost blue heroic 4/5 Mandalorian vehicle transport with Restore 1, and it says, each other friendly non-token unit gains, when defeated, create a Mandalorian token. Yes.
Yeah, yes, exactly, yes.
You just play this in any blue heroic deck. It just makes all of your other units value trade. Like, if they get defeated, you're still getting a 2/2 shielded out of the deal. And this has Restore 1.
Yes, like the 4/5 in space with Restore 1 on 5 resources was already like, yep, this is making my deck all the time. And then it's like, oh, and every trade is favorable. Like, okay. It's like you need to answer this unit first, but it's in space, which is a hard place to deal with a unit. And then, like, if they can't deal with in time, and you just start sending your units to defeat your opponents and have some tokens remaining afterwards, or make it if if you're already winning and they have to deal with your ground units, it just makes it worse for them because they're not fully dealing with them. So, everything about Bo-Katan's Gauntlet, it seems excellent to me. Yeah. I had it at B+. I had A-. It's somewhere around there. Because I don't know, I guess for whatever reason, if you are losing hard and you have no other units, it's not quite there. Still 4/5 in space for 5 for Storm.
Yeah, and you just take up like 13 damage on the ground or whatever it is. But generally speaking, this card is going to do wonders for you. Okay, next up is a starter deck card. It is Luke's Jedi Lightsaber. This is an upgrade, 3-cost, blue heroic. It gives +3/+3, and it says attached to a non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is Luke Skywalker, he gains Sentinel.
I'm just going to make this one as straightforward as possible. I wrote, it's Mastery.
I wrote down its Mastery.
And basically rare. It's still Mastery.
It's still Mastery. If you are heroic, you play this. I would play 5 for this.
I feel stupid because we compare like all these other cards that are like fighting to become A's. Like, oh man, like this 4 or 5. Oh, is it really an A? That restores, like it does all this cool stuff. Is it really an A? And you're like, no, this thing just gives +3/+3, but it's an A.
Yeah.
Because we don't get upgrade removal.
Yeah. And again, much like Mastery from the previous set, the best play pattern or safest play pattern for this is to put it onto your leader unit, because that's going to be the most difficult for your opponent to instantly remove or deal with. But you can put it on anything else. It doesn't have to go to your leader or a unique unit, just any unit. You give it +3/+3. I would play this out of aspect. I would pay 5 for it still, just because we saw how powerful that effect is.
If you get this in your pre-release, it makes your Luke leader a 9/10 Sentinel.
Oh, someone's going to do that too, and that's going to be... ooh, boy. But yeah, it's just A for Luke's lightsaber. Yeah. I wish there was like something more exciting to talk about there, and there really isn't.
Nope.
All right, so this next one... Atten Safety Droid, is that how you pronounce it?
Guess.
Or AT Atten? I don't know. It's at Atten. Whatever. At Atten Safety Droid. This is a rare ground unit. It's a 2-cost, just vigilance, 1/4 Republic droid, and says if your base would be dealt more than 4 damage, prevent all but 4 of that damage.
My grade for this also has a question mark in it. I'm trying to imagine scenarios where your opponent has something that would be dealing you more than 4 that's getting reduced to 4, where they wouldn't just be able to just like kill this guy and keep doing this. Is he like a 2-cost 1-time restore 4?
Yeah, what do you do then? Like if they were trying to attack you for 7, but you have this guy out, and you're just like, ha! I'm only taking 4.
God.
I mean, this is a constructed card.
Yeah.
Like, it's meant to stop stuff like planetary bombardments or whatever.
Yeah, I give it a C- question mark.
I had a D.
It's actually D.
I mean, like, you can if you have to, but like, I just don't think it's really good. Maybe you could sideboard this in if your opponent is just going like this super big space plan and they're like upgrading space units or something that can kind of slow them down. It's not making you win, it's just slowing your death.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's very good. I'll say D. And I'll also need to figure out how to actually pronounce that name because I don't really know. All right, our next one is named Ryder Azadi. This is a rare ground unit, a 3-cost vigilance, 2/5 New Republic official with Restore 1. And says, when played, name a card. While this unit is in play, opponents can't play cards with that name. Yeah.
I mean, I give him a B- out of the gate. Honestly, I'm playing him as a 3-cost 2/5 Restore 1 all the time, and then I'm naming in game 1. I'm naming the most potent removal or upgrade in my opponent's colors, just hoping to prevent that, and knowing that that's most likely what they are going to be playing. And in game 2, I'm naming obviously, and beyond, I'm naming something that I saw them play, in game 1. Like, I'm in for him just being the 3-cost 2/5 Restore 1. Like,
really,
I like that.
I was a little lower on him. I saw this as just purely a constructed card. But what you're saying makes sense.
Like, without like the splash bases and stuff like that, it does become a little bit more linear in terms of like, you are playing blue and green. These are the blue and green removal base cards that I can think that anyone would be playing, reasonably. Like, I'm going to just name one of those.
I had him at a sideboard C just because, like you said, he gets better in games 2 and 3 after you've got to see some of the cards from your opponent's deck and you know what to name.
I think his stat line just makes him, like, I'm main decking him just for the stat line alone.
Okay,
like,
sure.
The 3-cost 2/5 Restore 1 is just fine.
We just have
maybe he's not a B. Maybe he's more closer like a C+, but like,
would you just C or C+ then?
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, I'll meet you at C. Maybe because, like, Yeah, I think you're right. I think the stats are good enough with the restore. And then it just gets better in game 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Alright, our next one is Casca Reeves. This is a 4-cost rare vigilance unit, a 4/4 Mandalorian, and it says while you control a token unit, this unit gains Sentinel. And the only token unit in this set is other Mandalorians. And it also says when played, if a friendly unit was defeated this phase, create a Mandalorian token.
I think it's going to be incredibly easy to engineer a scenario where you get the token and you get a 4/4 Sentinel and a 2/2 shielded token.
Yeah, you get 6/6 worth of stats for 4? Count me in.
And 4 of those are 2 of those are shielded, and 4 of those are
Sentinel.
4 of those are Sentinel, and 4 are shielded, or 2 are shielded. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. I really like this, and yeah, especially if you are able to curb out, it's going to be easy just to start swinging your 2 or 3 into anything you need to set this up, because you want to set this up mostly for that Mandalorian token more than the Sentinel anyway. But yeah, things are going to die.
Yeah.
And then
I have a B plus just because if you are far enough behind to not have anything on the board and this is your play, like that you need her to be a Sentinel to help stabilize and save the board. And if you have nothing on the board already, she's not saving you.
Yeah. And she is still a 4/4 for 4, which is, generally on rate. But yeah,
it's okay.
It's just when you get those triggers, like she's going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
All right, our next card is a legendary. This is Suma Verminoth. This is a 12-cost Vigilance Space unit. It is a 15/15 creature with Sentinel and says on attack, defeat all other space units. Well, this is what your Android can protect you from.
I didn't even think of that.
You're not taking 15 anymore. You're only taking 4, baby.
Can you imagine a game state scenario that involved playing both of those cards?
I'll just go home.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I wrote for this card. If you made it to the 12 resource turn with this card in your hand and in a healthy enough state to play this card and not die, then you are not winning the game because of this card. You are winning the game for another reason, and quite frankly, I don't know what that reason is.
That's way more words. I wrote down it costs 12. This is an F. Yeah, it costs 12. And it doesn't even do the thing when you play it. You have to attack with it first. I mean, it's still a big Sentinel to protect you from all the other space units, but it's a 12 cost. There's not really ramp. Like this is not a thing you're going to be able to do. No, F. And we have another legendary card right away. This time it's Arcana Star Map. This is a 1-cost Vigilance upgrade. It gives +0/+3 and says attached unit gains. If you would search a number of cards from your deck, search twice that number of cards instead.
I wrote this is a 1-cost +0/+3. No other text. I'm sorry you pulled this legendary.
It's Watchful Plus.
I know.
Watchful gave +0/+2 for 1. This gives +0/+3.
But it also kind of gave you pseudo scry, which maybe was worth the third health point.
That certainly is worth more. You just ignore the middle text of this card. Like you're just paying 1 to give something 3 extra hit points, which is not unplayable.
I gave it a D+, which is
I gave it a D+.
Yeah, which is a grade that it reflects being not unplayable.
Yeah, there are other cards you would rather play for sure, but it's not unplayable.
You played on Sabine, and now she's a 3/8.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah, she's living.
All right, our final blue card is Reforge. This is a 2-cost Vigilance rare event. Defeat an upgrade on a friendly unit. If you do, search the top 8 cards of your deck for an upgrade that can attach to that unit, reveal it, and play it on that unit. It costs 4 less.
I gave this a sideboard grade.
Oh, really?
I did. So I think it's a D in most scenarios, but notably, this is it is not defeating a friendly upgrade. It's defeating an upgrade on a friendly unit. So if your opponent is playing a whole bunch of the affect your, like the -3/-0 when attacking bases, or like I don't even care if I don't get the second half of this ability. I'm playing this as a 2-cost remove the bad. If they're playing more than one of these sorts of things, I'll play this just to remove those sorts of effects from my unit. And if I know I have another upgrade in my deck, it does say it is not a May, so there's a little bit of danger here in terms of like you're sending a whole bunch of cards to the bottom. But if you do play, especially if it costs 4 less than 2, you're probably playing that upgrade for free. Then it's a decent swing, but it does require like your opponent to be playing. I don't know if I would play it for just one. If they're just playing just one like detrimental upgrade, I think I would want to see at least 2 in order to consider bringing this in.
I think I missed the text on it that it's any upgrade on a friendly unit and not a friendly upgrade. You're totally right. I misread this card. I thought this was straight up unplayable, but no, you're right. This actually does have sideboard utility if your opponent is playing some of the in this set there is a upgrade that says like when this opponent unit attacks a base, it gets -3/-0. That's a common upgrade. Your opponent could be playing multiples of those. And yeah, this actually would be a good way just to defeat an upgrade for one. And then if you have any other upgrade in your deck, you can kind of search for it and cash that in. That's something.
There's a number of different ones that do. Like there's the tap down one, and there's the one that deals 4 damage when the attack ends.
Okay.
There's enough. There's enough of them where it could actually end up, it's not one where I'd be like, oh, yep, slot it in, sleeve it up, slot it into the deck, but like be aware when it's in your pool.
Oh, you're right. You're right on this one. Yep, completely changed my mind on it. And I guess I could see worlds where if you know you have a really good upgrade in your deck and you just want to change your advantage token into something more helpful, you could too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so sideboard, you had sideboard D, you said?
Yes, maybe it's sideboard D, sideboard C. I don't know. Like it's whatever that effect is worth to you, kind of thing. I think it's all over the place in terms of like if they have a whole bunch of them, its playability goes up, and if you have upgrades worth getting and playing for effectively free, then it definitely goes up.
Like if your opponent's playing at least 2, this goes up to be like a sideboard C.
Yeah.
If you only like see 1.
I don't think I bring this in just to see 1. I think I would require seeing at least 2.
Yeah, and then you can make this better by having other upgrades in your deck that's worth searching for. Yeah, very good point. Yeah, I originally had that as an F, but you are absolutely right on that one. And that's why we do these. All right, we're going to move on to command cards now. These are green. We're going to start off with Moff Jared.
I don't know, man. I stopped at like the second J in his name, and I was just like, all right, that guy.
This is a starter deck card. This is a 2-cost green Villainy ground unit, a 1/3 Imperial Official, and says if you would create a number of tokens, you may defeat this unit. If you do, create twice that number of tokens instead. F.
This is what the F looks like.
Yeah, this is what an F looks like. This is a constructed card. Like you're not really going to try to do the thing or build something up. Like you want other things that makes other unit tokens all the time. So that's an F. Immediately after him, though, we do have Gallus Rex. This is a legendary ground unit, a 6-cost command Villainy, 4/7 Imperial Official that says other friendly units with 2 or more different keywords get +2/+2.
So this guy struggles with his vanilla test. Vanilla test being if you no other text on it, you're paying 6 for a 4/7. If you don't, which is not good. It's not where you want to be. If you can get him, like there are a bunch of cards, so it has to be 2 or more, and it can't just be ones with the singular keywords. There are a bunch of these a fair number of them spread out across, but primarily located in the green Villainy sort of card pool, and they're already really good. Giving them all +2/+2 is great. That said, like it's a few too many hoops for me to really want to put this in.
I mean, I can see the scenarios where he happens to be giving something +2/+2. I don't think he's been giving all the things +2/+2 or whatever. So to me, this just looks like a 6-cost 4/7 leader that doesn't do anything.
I think his natural state is that he gives +2/+2 to Moff Gideon.
Right, and that is strong. Absolutely, but otherwise I don't really see much else there. I had him at a D because of that. Like, I think there's too many hoops to jump through, like you said.
I had him at a D+ just for the scenarios where he does get to give it to a unit and Moff Gideon.
Yeah, there will be times where like you do get to do the thing.
But at Legendary, you're getting Moff Gideon leader, and this guy is a Legendary. It's not going to happen often.
Yeah. Next up is the Great Mothers. This is a 7-cost 6/7 rare Force Knight unit with support. And says, when the attack ends, if this unit dealt combat damage to one or more non-leader units, defeat those units. You kind of get the death touch something?
Yeah, and it's so the support thing is great. I mean, is good, but it has the weird, just to kind of harken back to Magic again a little bit here. It's always weird to have death touch on something that's already super huge.
Yeah.
It's just like,
if you're hitting something for 6, like, you're probably killing it. I mean, I see where you're supposed to do this, where it's, she has support, so they have support. Mm-hmm. There's multiples of them. You play that, you yeet your 2-drop into their 6-drop.
Yeah.
I see that.
And then after that, it's kind of like, yep, you have a 7-cost 6/7 that,
which they themselves also death touch something.
Yes, but they probably death touched it by dealing 6 to it.
I don't know. I mean, I still see worlds where this is used to deploy some of the bigger, later leaders.
Sure.
So I think it's a little pricey, but I think there's enough scenarios where you're.
But it's a non-leader unit. You can't even do it to leaders.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. I still had a B-.
I have a C-. Like,
oh wow,
you're
way
lower. Card at all.
I think you can set them up. If you like play an unassuming 2 or 3 drop, like at the 5 or 6 resource turn, and just to set up these Great Mothers to, again, yeet them in. And that's basically the way you want to play them, right? Because you really want to get that resource and card advantage. You don't want to send your 5 into their 5 or anything like that, unless their 5 is, Pre-Vizsla, whatever his name was.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a higher.
Okay.
Our next one this is another legendary unit. This is a space unit. This is the Ravager. This is a 9-cost green Villainy 8/10 Imperial Vehicle Capital Ship with Restore 2. And it says, when you play a unit, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to a unit in the same arena.
So it's 9.
Yeah.
It does get it sees itself played, so you get to pop a space unit.
Destroy another space unit.
And I think that's your best case on here. If you're going to the next, if you're in a state where this matters, like, I would hesitate to say like the Restore 2 doesn't even matter, because if you're cracking their base for 8 on actually getting an attack in with this, I can't imagine a scenario where that's not ending the game after 9 resources.
Yeah, I think that's just a little too expensive. It like you said, it does see itself, but because it can only either go to another space unit, I don't think it's going to stabilize you that much.
Right.
I still had this at F.
I could go to maybe a D, but just 9 cost is so much.
See, I don't even think I like it at D, because that implies it's filler. I just don't think it.
Okay.
I don't think it's enough. I'm at F for this one. Just it costs too much, and if it could go across arenas, then sure, because then it is really, really strong. But otherwise, I don't know about that one. Next up is, I mispronounced this. Dothamiri Magics? Yeah, not Dothrami, Dothamiri.
Yes.
Dothamiri Magics. This is
Or
a rare.
This is a Dathomir.
Yeah, this is a rare event. This is a 6-cost command Villainy force event. And it says if you control a force unit, this event costs 1 less to play. And says play up to 3 non-vehicle units that each cost 2 or less from your discard pile for free.
No.
No.
Just no.
Just no. Yeah, this is another constructed / Twin Suns card. Like, even if you manage to set this up in such a way where if you're paying 5 for it and you get 3 2/2s out of it, it's like, what's going to help you more? 3 2/2s right now, or something that costs 5 or 6?
Yeah. No thanks. Just can't.
So F for Dothamiri Magics. I'm gonna make sure I have that spelled correctly in the. Sure didn't update the document. There you go. Next is our next rare unit. Now we're going to move on to the Green Heroics. This is Bo-Katan Kryze, the rare ground unit. 2 for a command heroic 2/4 Mandalorian that says while you control another Mandalorian unit, this unit gains Raid 2. Yeah,
I gave this one a split.
I did too.
I think it's a C plus in any deck because it's 2/4 is a good stat. Like there are just not a lot of 2/4. Unlike past sets where 2/4s are a lot more prevalent, there aren't very many 2/4s turn 1 plays in this set. So like a 2/4 for 2 is just good.
Okay.
Already, and if she's in a dedicated Mandalorian deck, I couldn't go as high as an A, but a B plus, I think for certain. I think she becomes the best 2-drop in the set in a dedicated Mandalorian deck.
Yeah, what I wrote down is just like 1 Mando unit later, and this card's fantastic.
Yes,
and
just busted good.
That shouldn't be too hard to do in Green Heroic.
Right.
Yeah, so I had it just like a C on its own. And like it's not like a build around. It's just like if you get one other Mandalorian, this card just shoots up to a B level.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like C. Like I think they're.
You're higher on C plus now.
How many there in this set? There are 4 2/4s for 2.
Oh, I didn't count that much. That's crazy.
So like she's just good. You're gonna want her just by herself, even if you aren't going to be in a Mandalorian deck. I think you always are going to play her as one of your 2. She's going to be one of your better 2-drops just at her rate as is. Okay,
so yeah. A C plus that can easily show up to a B with very little effort.
Yeah.
Our next card is Admiral Akbar. This is a legendary ground unit, 5-cost green heroic 6/6 rebel official that says when played, you may defeat this unit. If you do, search the top 10 cards of your deck for any number of space units with combined cost 5 or less and play each of them for free. I wrote down, we have U-Wing reinforcements at home?
Yeah, but like it feels worse because
It is
like,
worse.
U-Wing was like, you're just in an event and I'm playing you to get guys. Now it's like, I'm killing my 6. Like, you're on a 6/6 that's just, he's straight up good. He's pretty good. Or do I want to maybe get some ships?
You're exchanging your 5 costs for more 5 again. So like you're staying equivalent. And if you split them up, would you get higher in like the stat line? Because like a 6/6 for 5 is pretty good.
Here's the thing: if you don't get 5 costs worth out of ships out of this,
yeah, you boned yourself.
You are this is awful. Like
yes,
I don't imagine many scenarios, even when I have a fair number of space units, where I sack this guy to get space units just on the off chance that I miss.
The only thing I can think of is, the ground game is so gummed up. Like there are just sentinels and you're trading back and forth so much that you're just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna swap to space. And you play Akbar, you defeat him, and you get like a 3 cost and a 2 cost in space. And you're like, this is how I win. I use the space arena. I could maybe see that. And you're searching the top 10 cards of your deck. That's half your deck. Like, I think you're probably likely to hit that, even with like 5 or 6
I don't think
space
you're.
units.
Yeah, I don't think you're flat missing. I'm more worried about like I get two costs, or
Yeah,
I
where
lose.
you basically
I just lose
Yeah, yeah,
a
I can
resource
see that too.
value.
I agree. So yeah, so that said, I think for the most part, I'm kind of just playing him as a 5-cost 6/6.
Yeah, I have him. Maybe that stat line makes him more than a C. I have him at a C, just like
I had him at C too. Yeah, I don't think it's better than that.
Just fine.
Yeah. What a weird guy. Now this one's worth talking about. Our next one is Luke Skywalker. This is a legendary 6-cost green heroic ground unit, a 5/5 Force Jedi with Restore 1, and it says when played, if you control at least 4 units, deal 3 damage to each enemy unit.
It was painful to grade this card.
It was. It felt bad.
It does. I don't. I said he's the coolest looking worst Luke Skywalker they've ever printed.
I know this Luke Skywalker looks so cool again because he's doing something and he's not just guy standing there with weapon.
Yeah.
Like it just looks so cool. But here's the thing for. I know there's going to be viewers and listeners out there like, oh my gosh, you got your pre-release. Like, I play this, and I deal 3 damage to everything. That's so good. It's like, no. You have to have at least 4 units. That's hard to do. If you're counting your leader, Luke Skywalker sees himself, and you still need 2 other ones. Maybe that's why you Akbar into 2 space units.
Maybe, but he's understated for his costs so that he does this ability. And it's just like, I think 90% of the time, this guy's a 6-cost 5/5 for Restore 1.
Yeah, he's going to mostly be a 6-cost, not 5/5 with Restore 1, and that's not good enough. Yeah. If you do get his Wind Plate ability, this is an A. Like, that is brutal. Like, that's a lot of damage, and you're doing it. But 9 times out of 10, he's a D.
Yep, I have him at a D.
Yeah, and that feels bad. Because I really like this card in all other aspects. But again, there are ways that you could set him up, like we were saying. Maybe you do just play like a bunch of cheapo space units to kind of like help set this up. Or there's that green event where you just make 2 Mandalorian tokens that have shields. There's 2 units right there, and they got shields to help make them a little sticky. So like, there are ways you could set it up, but like you're kind of doing a lot of effort, and I still think most of the times like it's just gonna miss, and you're gonna keep holding him into your hand because you really want to do the thing, and you just won't quite get there.
Yeah, just make sure that you aren't filling your deck with bad cards just to try to make him work, because you're not always going to draw him either. So
right. But man, cool art.
Yes, such fantastic art.
All right, next up is Sabine's Lightsaber. This is a rare upgrade, 2-cost green heroic +2/+2, and says attached to a non-vehicle unit. If the attached unit is Sabine Wren or a Force unit, it gains Restore 2. Good.
Yeah. 2-cost +2/+2. I wrote that I might even consider playing this on a, like, if I am in Villainy and I have Villainy Force units or a Force leader like Balin or Shinhati or something like that, because that Restore 2 goes a long way. I mean, that's really, really solid. Yeah,
I had it, like my brain was like, oh yeah, this is a C card because you get +2/+2 for 2, and that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't a whole lot of Force units in the set, but there are some Force leaders. It goes on
leader. Yeah.
And if you get this on this leader, that's pretty good.
Grogu's a 2/5 Restore 2.
He keeps coming back, baby. So that's
I give it a B+. I think it's good. Just great.
You had it at the B level?
Yeah.
It's like a C level card, but it does go up to B if you have a Force leader.
Yeah, I think that I could agree with that. Like, I guess my mind automatically went to, I'm playing this on my leader, who is probably a Force unit. It was hopefully a Force unit, but I'll play it on my leader regardless. But be super happy if my leader is also a Force unit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I agree with you there. I didn't even think about playing it out of aspect, but yeah, that is another really, really great point.
It's weirdly, I think, weirdly better on Ahsoka than it is on the actual Sabine leader, because it makes Ahsoka's power go up, which makes her ability trigger on more powerful stuff. Like I don't,
oh yeah, that'd be really good on Ahsoka.
Yeah.
All right, we're leaving the heroics, and now we're in just neutral green cards. This is 8d8. This is a rare ground unit, 2-cost command, 1/4 underworld droid with hidden action, exhaust. Deal 1 damage to another friendly unit. If you do, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a unit, reveal it, and draw it. Huh. F.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he could like do the damage to himself, because he's got 4 hit points, I'd maybe willing to go up to a D, but no, you have to do it to another friendly unit. And I don't really, just having a guy out just so you can keep searching and drawing cards does not seem worth the actions and losing initiative or affecting the board or anything like that. And it's hidden for some reason?
So you can make sure you get to do it once.
I guess so. Yeah, I just had F for 8d8. It's just not really playable.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, our next one is Lang. This is a rare ground unit, 3-cost command, 2/5 fringe with action exhaust. This unit deals damage equal to his power to a ground unit. Ooh. Okay. So he basically attacks ground units for free.
For free, yeah.
That's great. And if you happen to give him some, like, if you give him like 1 advantage token, using this action does not get rid of the advantage token because it's not combat damage.
Yeah.
So you can start pinging stuff for 3?
Yeah. Just keep stacking the advantage on him. Like, why the hell not?
You really could, yeah. And that kind of forces your opponent to start attacking into him. Or if you give him a single upgrade of any kind, that's like insane ping power. I like him.
Yeah, I think he's still at the end of the day, he's a 2/5, so it's not like he attacks for free, yes, but he's not really killing anything by himself. He feels like he's going to run cleanup most of the time, where it already was damaged or something like that, and he's cleaning it up for free. Yeah,
or if you're in like a Cad Bane deck, you're using him to finish off stuff that Cad Bane has already pinged. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. He gets way better with upgrades, even a single advantage. But even then, I still have him at C+.
Yeah, okay. I struggled a little bit to grade him because I wasn't sure what that ability would really be with combined with his power, but that's what I had him at C+. So.
Yeah, I like him as just a big old Tim.
Yeah.
Our next card is the Twins. This is a rare ground unit, 4-cost command, 2/7 underworld huts. And it says, when played and on attack, you may give another friendly unit Sentinel for this phase, and when another friendly unit is defeated, heal 1 damage from your base. I really don't like that they can't make themselves Sentinel when they're so thick.
With their 7, but I do like that they just create a never-ending stream of Sentinels. Like, they just protect your base better than probably any other card does, just because they just make everything a Sentinel.
Yeah, and they are thick, so like they are going to take some hits. I don't love it though.
I don't know. I wrote I don't see a racing game where allowing your opponent to have this card in play for multiple turns ends with you winning the game. Like, just
I think if your opponent gets this out, you really have to get rid of it, unless for some reason they already don't have any other units.
Right. And I think this is it's another friendly unit Sentinel, so it's not locked into the ground arena. They can give their space unit Sentinel too. If that's what you can't really dodge that. You can't lane dodge them and try to dodge this ability so long as they're able to produce units in that space.
Yeah.
But they do have to they have to attack it. It's not that like they just get to do it. They do have to, it gets hit when it's played, but they do have to attack with it first, So like if you have Sentinels and things like that, this thing does have to attack into your Sentinels in order to trigger its ability to give Sentinel out. So
yeah. What'd you have this at though?
Free. I had a C plus. I think it's just like it'll probably make my deck most of the time, and it's just annoying enough, I guess.
I had it at C minus. And I'm mostly just down on it because it can't give itself Sentinel. But I see the play patterns where constantly giving everything else Sentinel sure is obnoxious.
Yeah.
I'll adjust mine to just plain old C.
That's right.
This is certainly one I think I really need to see how it plays out to actually have an idea.
Sure.
All right, next up. This is the Bothan 5. This is a rare space unit, a 5-cost command, 4/5 New Republic vehicle transport, and says, when another friendly non-vehicle unit is defeated, you may have this unit capture that unit from your discard pile. Use this ability only once each round.
I like this thing a lot.
I really like this one.
It basically says I'm a 4/5 in space that you have to kill me before you kill any other, like, especially bombs or anything like that. Otherwise, they're just coming back.
They just come back. And if you get this down and then you start sending your ground units into defeating their units, knowing that they're going to be safe in this Bothan 5 coming back real fast, man, as soon as they deal with this and this just explodes into all your ground units again, that's going to feel pretty good. And a 4/5 in space for 5 is pretty close to on rate. Maybe a little lower, but still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it still requires an answer, I think. It's just like...
This becomes a lightning rod. Like, your opponent has to deal with it, otherwise, like, they're going to have to re-deal with all of your ground units.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I had B+.
Okay.
Like, if I'm sitting at the draft and I see this, like, I am snatching this up.
Sure.
And I think we only got a couple more cards left in green that we need to talk about. One of them being Queen Saruna. This is a rare ground unit, 6-cost command, 5/7 Naboo official that says, when played and on attack, you may reveal a unit from your hand. If you do, deal 3 damage to a unit with the same cost as the revealed unit.
Every time I read her, I like her more than the last time I read her.
I think this looks great.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be hard for you to hold on to whatever cards you need to in your hand to get that 3 damage.
Yeah, I think you're just always getting this 3 damage. Especially in limited where your deck is 25, 26, 27 units. Like, she's just always, unless they are running some form of discard and things like that, where they might be able to snag those out of you. She's always dealing 3 damage.
Yeah. I had her at B.
I also have her at a solid B.
Yeah, just a solid B. All right, and then we got one last one, and that is the upgrade out of green, and it's the Darksaber. This is a 4-cost legendary upgrade in green, +4/+2, attached to a unique non-vehicle unit. The attached unit is a leader unit and gains the Mandalorian trait. And the attached unit gains while you are paying costs. This unit provides its aspect icons.
This is a flavor A+.
Yeah, that's really good flavor.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, giving the Darksaber to something to make him into a Mandalorian leader. It's like, yeah.
So good.
They really nailed it. As an actual card.
Yeah, 4-cost upgrade. Like, I struggled to play 3-cost upgrades outside of, Mastery obviously was one of our big exceptions. 4 cost is even like, oh man, we are really committing and hoping that something bad doesn't happen. The fact that it gives it leader kind of helps to prevent that something bad from happening to it. I don't think that while playing costs like that's just a blank line of text.
Yeah, just ignore that part. That's for constructed only, really. Like, and please don't try to build your deck where you have the Darksaber and you're like, oh, now I can play out of aspect things or something. No, please don't do that.
It will go badly for you.
Yes.
But it does have the draw. It has to be played on a unique unit.
Yeah, and that's the big thing for it.
Free.
Yeah, you can't just put this on anything. It has to go onto a unique unit. So, I mean, it does give a lot of power.
Yes.
So if you put this on your leader, like now they're a dump truck just slamming in. But it does but because it really can't go on anything, that does make it a little more susceptible. So I still liked it enough because it is a lot of power. I had it at B-.
I had a C plus. Just like I just don't want to ever sit. I don't want this thing rotting in my hand. But
yeah,
leaders and things like that, it probably doesn't. But
yeah, and it could potentially rot in your hand, and then this again with these upgrades, the safest place is always the leader.
Yeah,
all right, that is all for green. Now we're going to move on to red. We're going to start off with Vane's Snub Fighter. This is a 3-cost rare space unit, red Villainy, 2/4 underworld vehicle fighter that says when a friendly unit's attacks ends, if it dealt combat damage to a base, give an advantage token to this unit.
Excuse me. Yes. Yeah. I want to do this all the time.
This is a yes. Okay.
I wrote. I gave it a C plus. I said, "Have I mentioned that I really like aggressive cards? Like it does the things that I want to do."
You had a C plus?
C plus, yeah.
Oh, really? I maybe I just don't know aggression that well. I had it at B. It looked better to me than that. Like it's just a constant threat builder. Like every single time you hit the base, this just gets bigger and bigger, and then it slams in. Like I could see, I could see this start hitting for 4 or 5. Oh, yeah, it seems good.
I think. Yeah, it requires some setup to do it. Maybe it is probably. I think C plus B minus. Yeah, I think
I'll bring it down to B minus.
Its default power is just a little bit like I would have really. I would have taken it at 3/3. Just so that it makes it its job is to be aggressive, and it has kind of a less aggressive stat line to begin with. So
okay, yeah, I'll trust your judgment on these kinds of things for sure. I'll bring it down to B minus. Okay. Our next one is the 9th Sister. This is a legendary ground unit, a 7-cost aggression Villainy 8/7 Force Imperial Inquisitor with Overwhelm, and says when played, an opponent discards a card from their hand. You may deal damage equal to its cost, divided as you choose among any number of units. Yes.
I wrote, for those wondering, this is what a 7-drop affecting the board when played looks like.
Yes. So like if you're paying 7 for something, you're practically guaranteeing a 2-for-1. You're hitting something out of their hand, and you also get to defeat something on their board in space or ground. If you happen to defeat 2 things out of it, then you're really doing it, and your opponent made a poor choice. And this is an 8/7 Overwhelm after that. Like that is just thick and threatening.
And even if they know, like game 2, game 3, whatever, they know about it, you're now making them hold a 2-drop in their hand versus keeping something more relevant. Like you are the way that this card manipulates the game, even without ever touching the field after being seen once, it's an A+. Like I think I don't know if I've given anything else an A+ before, but this is absolutely it.
I also had this at A+. Like this is just incredible. And this is exactly the kind of card that I want to see out of my legendaries. So good.
Yes.
Our next one is the Eviscerator. This is a rare space unit, 8-cost aggression Villainy 9/7 Imperial Vehicle Capital Ship that says advantage tokens on friendly units lose all abilities, which is good because it's still giving them +1/+0. It just means they don't defeat themselves anymore. And it also says when played and on attack, give 2 advantage tokens to each other friendly unit. So while this thing is out, it's kind of permanently giving everything else +2/+0. It is an 8.
Yeah.
And that concerns me. But like it's a very strong 8.
Yeah.
This was one where I was struggling a little more to figure out the grade on it because it reads is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And all it asks is like, please have units still surviving by the time you get to 8 resources.
Yeah, and I think that's what was enough to push it into A range. Just I literally like I'm not sure if this is a B+ or an A-, but like considering you have units on the board, this thing attacking is not probably what ends the game. It doesn't have to. You don't have to wait till a 9 resource turn or whatever when you can actually attack with this thing to deal 9. You can giving +2/+0 permanently to everything else is probably enough to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if nothing else, this at the 8 resource turn, this is just a board pump.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't win it for you, well, then you got a 9/7 to finish it off. I had it A minus.
That's ultimately where I had it, but
okay.
With the mark maybe because it is 8 cost. It'll be dependent on how easy it is to be living on the 8 cost turn.
Yeah, and of course, it needs other units, otherwise it just kind of doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
All right, our next one. This is a rare event. Operation Cinder. 6 cost aggression villainy. Deal 5 damage to your base, then deal 5 damage to each unit. I know you don't like anything about this card.
Stop it.
So this is purely a control card.
But if I need to wipe the board, I probably can't afford to deal 5 to my own base to do it.
Correct.
The fact that it does it to my own units after I've already paid 6 resources and 5 damage to all of my and 5 damage to my base.
Yep.
Is insulting. Like I can't even begin to believe that this is a card.
No. You're thinking about this all wrong, my friend. You're thinking about playing units and you're thinking about attacking their base. No. This is not what you do. No. You're playing Sentinels. You're playing like 1 unit a turn and just annoying them. You're bouncing stuff. You're killing stuff and just slowing them down as much as possible. So that by the time you play Operation Cinder, you basically have no units out. And you just deal 5 damage to all of them. And you're taking out 2-3 cards. Then you deploy your leader and suddenly you've got the advantage because you wiped everything they had and now you've got the control. Now, the likelihoods of this actually playing out the way you want it to, not great.
Oh.
I had this at F.
I have it in F, and it gets the award for the card most likely to be played when your opponent is already losing the game. Like, you can't kill me, I kill me.
Yes. Yeah, it's an F, but I do think there will be some control decks that can manage to make this into a really good B-level card. I think there will be some decks that can do it, and that'll be sweet. But yeah, otherwise this is quite the cost.
I want you to know I'll like you a little bit less if you were one of those people who makes this card.
Yeah. All right, that was all the red villainy. Now we're going to move on to red heroic, starting off with green leader. This is a rare space unit, 2 cost, aggression heroic, 3/1 rebel vehicle fighter that says when defeated, you may deal 2 damage to a unit.
I mean,
yeah, there's an awesome card.
It's not great. Like I'm not so in that like I'm giving this B. It's a C plus probably card. It's just
really?
It's good. It slaps in space and it can't be pinged by Cad Bane. Suck it.
I had this at B level. I think any space unit that can attack for 3 for 2 resources, like on the first turn, I think that alone is good enough.
And it's when defeated it's just also like probably always gonna. It's not arena locked either. That can just deal 2 and mop up something. I don't know. I could see doing it. Like I pull back because I'm like I really love this card and will take it more than I should. But maybe I should give it what I feel like is a more reasonable grade. But I'm just like throwing darts in the darkness over here. Like I don't know what do normal people find 3/1s in space?
Normal people.
I don't know.
Well, think again. If you were sitting at the draft, it's pick 5, pick 6, and you see a green leader.
Oh yeah.
You see that as a signal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sticking with B.
Yeah, I'll join you. I will gladly join you. I was trying to
now that I've opened the door for you, you'll walk in. Okay. Our next one is Grogu. Yes. This is a legendary ground unit, 3 cost aggression heroic, 2/6 force droid, and says when you take the initiative, you may attack with a unit.
I think this card is silly good. Like
silly good.
Always now have you just have initiative all the time now. It's hard as hell to kill when you play it on curve. Like it's just going to be super annoying. Like I understand it's only like a 2/6, but like okay, I take initiative and still attack you with my 4 or 5 or whatever. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that feels bad.
I don't love the stats, but like this is a really interesting way of doing action compression, right?
Yeah.
Because we've kind of seen a lot of I do a thing and I get to attack with a unit right away or attack with 2 units. This allows you to take the initiative and attack. Cool.
Yeah.
This is going to
it's a dangerous kind of like design
gonna,
area, like where, yeah.
This will wear advantage tokens really, really well too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. I wasn't like super high on it. I had it at C+.
I have it as a B+. Like,
you think it's better than that just because of the advantage thing?
Advantage, like just like you get to take initiative. Like, it effectively makes initiative kind of free. Like you're just always taking initiative and getting your last attacking. Sure. You have 1 extra action every turn. Like I think that's just really good.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point where, on the 3 resource turn, rather than just attacking with your dude right away, you just play Grogu first instead, claim the initiative, and then you get to attack with your 2-drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or like, what's the alternative is your opponent just like doesn't attack with anything of their, like they have to, like if you have the initiative or whatever the case is, like it allows you to flip the script, and unless they're willing to kind of give up their turn to keep this from doing it, like it makes the turn itself, not combat, it's the turn itself really weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll join you. I'll go up to B.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a cool design. I like that a lot. Our next card is a starter deck card, basically a rare because you'll see this in like, foil, hyper foils or whatever. And it's Han Solo. This is a 4-cost aggression heroic 3/7 rebel official with Saboteur, and says when played, deal 3 damage to this unit, give 3 advantage tokens to a unit. This looks really good to me.
I think it looks pretty good because he's a 4-cost 3/4, which I think is a little bit behind. He's a 4-cost 3/4 with a +3/+0 stapled to him.
Yeah,
let's just say like the Saboteur adds a little bit, but like the stats aren't blowing my mind by any means. Like his 3/4, like when all is said and done, like the +3/+0, like basically getting 2 cards in 1 is good, but like I kind of would have wanted him to either it dealt a little bit less damage to him, or he had like 1 more point of power or something like that, just so that he kind of, even after the advantage is gone and done, he still was a worthwhile, like a good unit, like a slightly higher statted unit after.
I think the floor for him is that he's a 6/4 Saboteur.
For 1 turn, yes.
Yeah, that's good enough. Like whether you hit their base for 6 or you take out one of their best units or Sentinels, I think that's good enough. And like I get it, like starter deck card, so he's meant to be in there with Luke because he deals damage to himself, and then you use Luke to start healing him back up. That part's kind of whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I think basically having a 3/4 Saboteur that, like you said, kind of comes in with a combat pump or something else. Or if it's just for him, if you have no other option, I think that's good enough. I liked him. I had him at B.
Okay, I had him at C+. Like,
okay, I'll meet you in the middle. Come down to B-.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Just because like it is a temporary +3. All right, our next one is Zeb Aurelios, a legendary ground unit, a 7-cost aggression heroic 5/7 rebel specter. And it says, when played, give 3 advantage tokens to another unit. And it also says, when a friendly upgrade is defeated, deal 1 damage to a base. Oh, I get it.
Oh, yeah. He doubles up advantage. Yeah, in a way. Like, in my mind, where all I'm doing is attacking their base, he makes advantage deal 2 times the damage.
It upgrades all your advantage tokens. So he kind of represents 8/7 of stats, but if you're attacking, but really you're kind of representing 11/7 in stats, kinda.
Yeah, in a weird, in
a kind of weird roundabout.
Some
way.
of those stats have overwhelm in a certain, 3 of those stats have overwhelm kind of.
Still,
yeah, he affects the board right away. Like, so long as you have another unit out. No matter what, like even if they attack into him to make sure that the 3 advantage tokens don't go to base, like they still take 3 damage from those advantage tokens popping, and he dealt 3 extra damage to whatever attacked into that unit or whatever. Yeah. Like, I think it's just he's just solid. I have him as like a solid B. Like, you know,
I had B
compared
as
to
well.
some of these, like, yeah, like these A's and stuff like that, he's not nearly.
Yeah, he
not
looks
nearly
like
there.
just a good aggression finisher.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. B for Zebarelios. Our next one is Reckless Sacrifice. This is a rare event. 2 red heroic. Discard a unit from your hand. Deal 5 damage to a unit that costs more than the discarded card.
I think this might, like, it's partly a testament to like how bad most of the other removal is, but also a testament to how good this is. I think this is just the best removal in the set.
Oh wow, you're really high on it, huh?
I mean, all the other, like I said, part of it is because most of the other removal in the set is the worst it's ever been. Like it's there isn't a solid blue removal card in the set, period, at any rarity.
I guess I was kind of lower on it because I look at this and I'm thinking, well, I'm 2-for-1ing myself. And you are. You're playing a card out of your hand plus losing another card out of your hand to take out one of theirs. But it means taking your worthless 2-drop and using it to defeat one of their 6 or 7s.
Yeah.
So I see that scenario.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what they're setting up here. Is they're making sure that you're discarding something poopy for their.
Yeah, and that's the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Where'd you have it then? Because I had it at C before.
I have it at a B.
Okay.
Yeah, like the 2-for-1 isn't where I always want to be, but like I am looking at this in the lens of like this might be one of the only cards that deals with. Because it's going to be hard to like talk about this outside of the scope of having like all the commons and uncommons, which is where some of the removal comes into play.
Yeah,
but a lot of it is just garbage.
Well, I'll come to B minus simply because there are going to be times where you have Reckless Sacrifice in your hand, and the only other units you have are good units.
Yes,
and that's where it gets a little clunky. I do like this design though. That's another good design, an iconic moment from the movies. All right, our next card, a rare, is Migs Mayfield. This is a rare ground unit. This is a 2 for aggression, just neutral, not heroic, not villain, just a 2 red. 2/3 fringe with support, and says on attack, deal 1 damage to the defending unit. If this unit is upgraded, deal 2 damage to the defending unit instead.
He's going to be the best shield killer in the game.
It really is. It's kind of a Sabine Wren from like set 1, kind of coming back.
Tossing support on there though,
Sure,
like making sure that he can give that ability to somebody else. Like I have, and I wrote this multiple times. It comes up more in the commons and uncommons, but like I kind of hate my 2-drops having support because, and they do this a lot. Like they not just with support, but with other things. They made a lot of 2-cost plays really, really awkward to play as your turn 1 play because you lose kind of what made the card good. In this case, it's not the case. Like some of them, like they only have support or something like that. So it's like, oh, it's a 2-drop I don't want to play on my first turn. That sucks. He's still just like, I'll play him as a 2/3 on turn 1 that still has a very relevant on attack. But like, okay, well, why did we put support on here in case you draw him late game? I get it. Yeah. But like, you stack too many 2-drops that are awkward to play on your first turn, and suddenly it becomes really awkward to just play turn 1 in general.
Yeah, it forces you to basically turn one of them into just a vanilla stat card. Which, you know,
but this guy I think is just good. Like,
he's just good. It's a 2/3 that attacks as a 3/3 into another unit.
Yes,
and that's
he kills. He cleans up Mando tokens like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, I had him at C+.
I also have him at C+.
Right, good. I also like that they clearly got the license for Bill Burr's face for this one.
They sure did. Yeah.
Compared to the previous Migs Mayfield, so you know that's also kind of nice to see.
Yeah.
All right. Next is the Onyx Cinder. This is a rare space unit, 6 cost in red. A 6/6 vehicle transport with hidden. Other friendly units gain hidden. Okay.
He sure is a 6/6 in space for 6.
Yeah. What I wrote down is that like, he can maybe protect a leader deploy because it gives your leader hidden. That's kind of annoying. But otherwise, it's a 6/6 in space for 6.
Which I think past sets we've had, like 6/6s in space for 6, have just kind of been good. They've been fine.
They've been fine. I haven't like loved them.
I mean, the 6/6 Sentinel in space from
But that's a
Season Power
Sentinel.
was one of the best.
That's a Sentinel.
Yeah,
That's different.
yeah, it's different, but like I think that stat line still just gets the job done enough of the time. I'm not saying I'm like I have it at C plus. Like it probably makes my
really?
deck a decent. Yeah,
I had a D plus.
It is 6/6 in space for 6.
Yeah, compare this to other 6s that we've seen. Like if you have to make room to like get this in there, like that doesn't feel that good. I'm a little lower on this one personally.
Okay. I'll go to C minus.
Okay.
I'm not dropping my boy in here.
All right, C minus then, fine. Next one is Boba Fett's Rancor. This is a legendary ground unit, 8 costs in aggression, 8/9 underworld creature. It says when played, deal 5 damage to your base. Then deal 5 damage to an enemy ground unit. Then deal 5 damage to the same unit again. On attack, you may deal 1 damage to a base for every 5 damage on your base. I mean, this kills something when he shows up. It might be you.
Yeah, me. I don't know why red. Like, I hope this isn't like a common thing they're trying to work into Red's color space, where it's just like, oh, kill yourself. You might also like have some other effect, but you'll die. You just do it. It's probably worth it, right?
Well, we have 30 hit point bases this time around, so it won't be as bad. Yeah, I think again it's probably more of a kind of a control card rather than like aggression where you're base racing and then like this just looks really bad. But because it does deal 5 damage to your base, he does come down as a 9/9. You can look at him that way because he gets the +1 damage. But again, you're gonna have other damage on your base, and like he could be attacking for 11 or 12 damage. That's a lot. And again, he kills something when he shows up.
At 8 resources, I hope I live to attack with him as a 9/9, but I don't know. Especially if I dealt myself 5. I wrote, I'm ready to lose to this card, but I hope I never have to.
It seems like a win more card.
Yeah.
Like you're already at a point where like you have so much base health that you can play this and not worry about taking 5 damage and come out ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an F.
I have it at D.
I will agree.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 damage to yourself is a lot. As we discussed.
But Jared and I have a friend that loves Rancors and would love nothing more if we could like make him a Rancor deck, and they make every Rancor practically unplayable. Like it's just awful.
It's too bad. Next is Unfettered Ambition. This is a rare upgrade for 2. In red, it gets +1/+1 and says, when played, for each upgrade on attached unit not named advantage, give an advantage token to the attached unit.
No.
I also
D minus. Please no.
I also just said no. Because it does count itself, you are giving it +2/+1 right away for 2. But again, this wants like a bunch of other upgrades and wants upgrade like synergy and all that, and that's not really what you want to do.
Which is weird considering it's not in the colors for the armor.
I mean, you could play red with her. It could.
You could, but it's not in like you'd think they would plant it in a color that would make like it would be a blue, or a blue green even. Yeah. Like upgrade or something.
Yeah, not a fan of this one. Yeah. I think this is actually probably pretty close to an F. But I can see something to play it.
I have a D minus, so it's as close to an F without being an actual F.
All right, so yeah, I'll go to D minus with you. Our next one is a good upgrade. This is Whistling Birds. This is a legendary upgrade, a 3 cost in red, +2/+2, attached to a non-vehicle unit, and says attached unit gains when attack ends. If this unit dealt combat damage to an opponent's base, deal 2 damage to each unit that opponent controls in this unit's arena. Now there you go.
This one does serious work. I think this has the potential to be the next mastery style card.
Yeah.
Fewer stats, but an absolutely awesome ability.
It
At
represents
least it's legendary.
It represents a lot of potential damage.
Yes.
And all it asks is like hit their base. I don't care how, just hit their base and you're doing so much damage. I had this at A.
I have it as a B plus, but I could definitely see it as an A. I'll meet up at A minus, but I think that I'll be the one to revisit this one and be like, yeah, it's just
okay. Yeah, I'm high on this card because I just think it's going to be easy to do. Our next one is Treacherous Minefield. This is the rare event in red. Costs 2 and says choose an arena. For this phase, each unit in that arena gains on attack, deal 2 damage to this unit. This kind of reads weird, but basically what it means is you pick an arena and every time a unit attacks in there, it deals 2 damage to itself.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad that you started there because everything I wrote about this is like, am I reading this card right? Is this actually what I'm paying 2 resources to do?
Yep. You're 2 damage to itself.
Okay. Well, I'll not do that.
This is a constructed card. This is an F. This is a means to, like, you know, if your opponent in Premier, if your opponent's playing a lot of spies or something, use this to take it out. Because in Limited, what makes this card extra awkward is like even if you have the initiative, you play this first. Well, now your opponent can just choose to not attack and ignore it. And then if you've got your units, well, then your units attack and still do 2 damage to themselves. So it just really doesn't work out. It's a constructed card. Don't even consider it. And it's not really playable. What a weird one.
Yeah.
That's all for aggression. And we can finally move on to cunning. And we're going to start off with Hellgate? Hellgate?
I don't know, man. I'm going to call him Hellgate.
I think it's just Hellgate.
Rad.
Yeah. Hell yeah. This is a rare ground unit. It's a 5-cost Cunning Villainy 6/4 Separatist. And it says, when defeated, you may distribute a number of advantage tokens equal to this unit's power among friendly units divided as you choose. There we go.
Yeah. So my first comment about this is if you asked me to draw a picture of somebody named Hellgate, this is not the guy I would draw. But his ability is rad.
His ability is great. And it basically reads like it guarantees 6 damage coming from somewhere. Yeah. Because if they do something to kill it, you get to put those advantage tokens somewhere else, and you're still getting his 6 damage off of that. If they have to attack into him and he dies, well, then you're doing 12 damage, 6 damage to the attacking unit, plus those advantage tokens going somewhere else. Yeah. All of that just sounds great to me.
Yeah. I have him at a B+, and I have no idea who this guy is, but I hope I see him often.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I also had him at B+. Good card. We'll move on to Gorion Shard's Corsair. This is a legendary space unit. 6-cost yellow villainy, 6/5 underworld vehicle capital ship, and says, damage dealt by friendly underworld cards is unpreventable. And when played and on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a unit. You can basically ignore the first text. Well, no, it gets through like shields then, right?
Shields, yeah.
Okay, it gets through shields. All right, sure.
In a way, so it doesn't pop. It's not like it gets rid of the shield. Since it goes through, it means the shield's text never has. So like if you try to attack it with, so it's still there if it's interacting with a non-underworld unit.
Okay.
So it's an awkward interaction there, but yeah.
Okay. I mean, it seems good. If nothing else, this is a 6/5 in space for 6, and when you play it, you get to deal 2 damage to something. And every time it attacks.
Yeah.
Like that's a 6 drop compared to the dorky 6/6 hidden.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I have this at B+, and I said, yeah, it's a ship that's designed to kill bases and murder Mandalorian tokens.
Yeah, I also had it at B. Next up, this is another starter deck card. It's the Executor. Executor. How did they pronounce it?
I don't ever.
We'll say Executor because that sounds sicker.
Sure. Yeah.
This is a starter card, space unit, 8-cost Cunning Villainy, 5/12 Imperial Vehicle Capital Ship that says this unit gets +1/+0 for each upgrade on other friendly units. And when played, give an advantage token to each other friendly unit.
$5.12 is a weird stat line.
It's a weird stat line. I don't know. It's weird. It does cost 8. It's a little pricey, and basically, it will most likely come down and basically kind of be like a 7/12 to start with, because you're giving advantage tokens to other units, but then you attack with those units, and this shrinks back down. Yeah.
I have C question mark.
I also had it at C.
Okay.
Like it kind of does like a board wide pump of sorts. But I guess you can also play this after your units attack, because then this comes down. It will be slightly bigger for when you can attack with it. But again, cost 8, so you also need to be able to attack with it going into the 9 resource turn.
Yeah, it feels like another one of those win mores. Like,
sure.
Yeah, I already have a bunch of units out, and yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'll stick with C.
Yeah.
All right. Next is There Is No Conflict. Another starter deck card. This is a starter upgrade. 2-cost yellow Villainy gives +2/+2 for 2, and says when played, return any number of other upgrades on the attached unit to their owner's hands.
2-cost +2/+2.
It's a 2-cost +2/+2. Yeah, I'm in for that.
Yep.
Maybe every now and then you get to bounce one of their annoying upgrade hate things or whatever, but for the most part, yeah, it's +2/+2 for 2.
Yeah. Yep.
C plus?
C plus.
C plus. All right. Our next one is Rehabilitation. This is a rare event. 5-cost Cunning Villainy. Choose a non-leader unit. Give that unit -3/-0 for this phase. Then take control of it. At the start of the regroup phase, its owner takes control of it. So it's like one of those temporary take control of the opponent's cards.
Yeah.
But you're giving it -3/-0 first?
Yeah, I wrote SWU really hates threaten effects and makes sure that each and every one of them are overcosted and feel like a waste of time.
Yeah. I had a question mark on this one. I'm going to be real.
I wrote a D. Like,
Oh, really?
Well,
I had C question mark. I feel like there's going to be enough situations that you can take something of theirs and just yeet it into something else of theirs and come out ahead. Probably? Question mark?
I won't be happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but like, possibly.
I don't know why they have such like a love. I should just say more accurately, they have like a love-hate relationship. Like when you compare things like Commandeer, which is like, oh, you take it and it bounces back to their hand afterwards. Like it's cost the same.
Yeah,
and it was just like, oh my god, this is incredible. But then they feel like if it's just like there's 2 different people allowed to design the threaten cards. One of them hates them and one of them loves them. So like we always pay the same, but we get drastically different effects.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that this can target both space and ground units.
Sure.
So it has a little more flexibility.
Commandeer was space and ground too, but it had to be just had to be
vehicles, and there's far less vehicles. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. It's not as good. I'll say C-, and that's being generous, I think.
Yeah, I think I'll meet you up as far as the D+, but I don't foresee myself playing this card.
Yeah, and you might be right. I really don't see myself prioritizing this card or trying to pick it aggressive. Nope, you got me. I'll go D+. Yeah, I don't know about that one. All right, moving on. Weird card. So now is all the yellow Villainy. Now we're going into the Cunning Heroic, starting off with Carson Teva. This is a rare ground unit, 2-cost Cunning Heroic, 1/4 New Republic with support, and says while attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender.
It's another 2-cost supporter, which I've already talked about how much I don't.
I wrote love. This is a combat trick that just kind of sticks around after.
Yes, that's all he does. It's kind of just lingers.
And he makes the face in the art. That's the face he makes the entire time after he's still around. Just, hey. Oh, yeah.
Still here.
It's an okay combat trick. Just like get that first strike damage or whatever you want to call it. I had it at C-.
I have it as C- with the notes. Like I would have much rather seen this as like a 3 or a 4 drop with just better stats, like so that he could have a reason to stick around afterwards.
Again, if he gets upgraded, a permanent upgrade, not just advantage tokens, and he still has like that first strike ability on himself, pretty good.
Yeah.
But until then, that's another one of those cards that like it needs other cards to be good if you want to keep using him. But for the most part, just use him as that combat trick for 2. Next is Mando's N1 Starfighter. This is a rare space unit, 2-cost, cunning, heroic, 1/3 Mandalorian vehicle fighter with support, and says on attack, you may exhaust a friendly non-upgrade leader. If you do, this unit gets +2/+0 for this attack. This is great.
This is so good.
And this might take a little bit of clarification because I think there might be some people hearing that and getting confused. It says on attack, you may exhaust a friendly leader, not a leader unit.
Yeah.
Leader. So that means if you have your leader not deployed right now, you can just exhaust it and give something +2/+0 every single time Mando's N1 Starfighters attacks. This attacks as a 3/3 for 2. And then you get to play it as the combat trick. You're giving something else +2/+0 for that attack. That's great. This is a repeatable combat trick. Once your leader is deployed, you don't have that for now. I think you're going to be okay. And there are plenty of leaders in this set that just don't care if they are exhausted or not.
Yeah.
This is great.
I think clearly meant to be played with a Grogu leader, but I think this just plays with literally every heroic, except like the only awkward part is the common leader in this is Grief Karga, and I don't think this plays nearly as well.
Yeah, he does want...
You're playing units every turn.
Because Grief does want to like exhaust itself to get that token, but like, I don't know, if you're playing like, I don't know.
I think literally any heroic leader, any other heroic leader will play this in a heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. What level of B do you have this?
Plus?
Yeah, same. Yeah, B+ for the Mando's N1 Starfighter.
Yeah.
Our next card is Kelleran Beck. This is a legendary ground unit, a 4-cost heroic yellow unit, 3/5 Force Jedi with ambush, and says this unit gets +1/+0 for each other unit with 0 power. Oh. Well, it's an ambusher.
He's an ambusher. Like
he's an ambusher.
I certainly like in Grief Karga, he's a 4/5 ambusher for 4.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. Like this guy, I don't know if this is a scene from something, but like this guy's got like those eyes where like we're fighting and now I don't want to fight you anymore. But when those eyes come out, like I'm like I don't know what this.
This is from it's from Mandalorian's season 2, 3. It's the scene of Kelleran Beck rescuing Grogu from Order 66.
See, I've seen it, but I don't remember this scene.
Oh, it was sick.
Okay, he's got the crazy eyes, man. I think this is just like maybe a C or a C+ just based on like ambush is good.
Yeah, I had C+ and literally says ambush is nice. The rest of the text doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
If you got that Corona 4, then you got a little bit of a combo going. But for the most part, he's a 3/5 ambush for 4, and that's pretty good.
He also gets +1 power for Grogu. So.
Oh, you're right. and he's a unique unit of 4.
Sure.
So therefore, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. You're totally right. It all ties together.
Yep.
All right. Speaking of Grogu, our next card is Fateful Goodbye. This is the yellow heroic rare event, costs 2, and it says if a friendly unit left play this phase, distribute 3 advantage tokens among friendly units. If a friendly leader unit left play this phase, distribute 5 advantage tokens instead.
5 is so many.
5's a lot. But it's a combat pump.
It's a combat trick, yeah.
Yeah. Which, you know.
But it's like the problem with it is like most of the time a combat pump is like when you do it and it doesn't have also an attack, like attack, this unit gets +X+O and attack with this unit. we don't commonly see the ones where it's just like give a unit +3/+3 this turn. Those don't usually see play.
Yeah, I mean, 5's a lot.
5 is a lot, but it's also like, okay, your leader died. All that it took was your leader dying to get that, I guess.
Yeah, so like it can be a decent pump, but it requires you to lose a unit first.
Yeah.
And that makes it a little awkward to play because of the timing of it. I
have it at a D.
Yeah, I think it's a D.
So even the ones that are like your unit gets +3/+3 for the turn, they give 3 health too.
Sure, yeah, it actually helps them survive. I had a D+, but yeah, I think just D for it makes more sense.
Yeah.
All right, and our next yellow card is Pelimoto. This is a rare ground unit. It costs 1. It's just cunning, but we're no longer heroic or villainy. She is a 1/1 fringe for 1 with shielded and says, ignore the aspect penalties of the first non-unit card you play each phase.
Oh, thank you.
F. Yeah, this is a card that you're supposed to do in some constructed shenanigans. Like, I'm not paying 1 for a 1/1 shielded. Absolutely not. It's probably also supposed to be like some Twin Suns thing somewhere in there too. I couldn't tell you what. No thanks. Our next one is Jadna Nawood. I haven't seen this show. This is a 3-cost rare ground unit in Cunning. It is a 4/3 Force Underworld Sentinel, and also says when played, you may pay 4. If you do, choose an arena, exhaust each unit in that arena.
I mean, you maybe paid or whatever for the license for Julad's face, and the best that you could do is guy standing there for him. Come on,
another guy standing.
Dutch
angle.
That being like, it's very rare for us to see a card that is legitimately good both early and late, and I think this ticks both of those boxes. Like 4/3 Sentinel is not nothing early in the game, and turning it into like a, tapping down the arena that you don't have units in or something like that for potentially on 7. Like, I'm not as excited about that because you probably have units across the different arenas, but like, I don't know. I think he does. When we're talking about like from when you're behind, this card certainly has potential. When you are at parity, this card does something, and when you are ahead, this card does a little bit less, I think, but is still fine.
I'm not as crazy about it because he's a fragile Sentinel at 3.
I think we saw with Bith Brute like that 4/3 just kind of did work sometimes.
I mean, it's a roadblock for sure. It's a fragile Sentinel, and it makes them kind of weird to play later on. Where if you do pay the 4, you get to exhaust an entire arena. That targets your own units as well. So you can't like just play them and be like, ha, now I'm going to start beating you down with my units and get this huge advantage. It reads more like, okay, in the late game, I can pay 7 and buy myself a turn.
Sure.
Which is less exciting. Not nothing.
Yeah. I guess I'm envisioning more like they have 2 good space units and I have no good space units, and now I've prevented.
I think there are scenarios with that too. Yeah, I think there will be utility for him. I don't think he's amazing. But yeah, I do think that flexibility does kind of bump him up a notch.
I have him at a BB+.
I had him at B-.
Okay. I think I'm going to stick B on him. Like, I think he's just good enough.
All right. I'll go B, just somewhere in that middle. That's what I assume.
Now, this next one, I don't know.
All right, so the next one is Elzar Man. This is a legendary ground unit, 6-cost cunning, 3/7 Force Jedi that says, while you control a Force leader, this unit enters play ready. There's a couple of Force leaders out there. And it also says, when played, distribute up to 5 advantage tokens among other friendly units. Then, an opponent searches twice that many cards from the top of their deck for an event, reveals it, and draws it. So, huh.
So
But I don't like
just, you know,
I don't like that he can't give himself the advantage tokens.
right. So I have a couple of so there's 7 force leaders, 2 are spotlight, but most of the rest of them are common. So like
Okay.
it's not unheard of that this guy will probably have a decent shot of showing up ready if you're playing him in the right deck. And then my next thing was a question of like, how many tokens do you give? Or I want to say it's like 2 to like so we most decks will play 5 events, right? But your deck is only 30 cards. So like if you're giving them 5 advantage tokens, they're searching 10 and they are absolutely going to find an event. Like it's really it would be silly, especially on the 6 resource turn, as long as provided they have events left in their deck at this point, like haven't drawn a resource or whatever them, like they are almost assuredly going to. So like I don't think I ever give the full 5. But like 2 or 3 maybe?
Yeah, I think like 2 is probably the safest. I think it also is like, it depends, right? Before you play this card, ask to see your opponent's discard pile. Go through it and count how many events are in there. If you see none, don't give many. If you see 3 or more events, maybe you can get a little greedy here. If you happen to see 5 events, then yeah, go ham. Or I guess not even just events, just non-unit cards. Like if they're playing upgrades or something too.
Right.
Yeah, maybe because this does not take out upgrades from their deck. It has to be events. So
I think it's probably like even like we say that's usually 5, but like especially nowadays when it's like, okay, Voltroning leaders and blah is good, and a lot of like the pseudo removal in this set is like upgrade based in terms of like making them do less damage or making sure they're tapped down, kind of things like that. They probably play even less if maybe it's like 3 events, kind of thing like that. Whereas this guy has they have a worse chance of hitting, kind of thing like that. But still,
I do think this guy can be a surprise finisher, especially when your opponent's already tapped out of resources. Because then you're playing this, if you have a force leader, he comes in ready. You give those 5 advantage tokens somewhere. Sure, they get to find the event, but they can't play it right away. And now you're representing 8 sudden damage on the board.
But that's a scenario where your opponent is claimed and you still have all of your attackers up.
Not all your attackers. You only need 1.
Okay. 1, I guess. Yeah.
And maybe that just pushing that damage on there. And again, like that's, you know, in a world where this guy comes in ready and you still have a unit available that you can do the thing. So like, I think there are scenarios that it can, but for the most part, yeah, I think you do it for like 2.
Yeah.
And so I don't really have like a build around grade for him, but more like he needs a force buddy. Grade. Like if you got a force leader, like I do think he's pretty solid.
Yeah. But like the 6 cost like 3/7 is like
not great.
I'm not. Yeah,
but if he comes into play,
like you said, like, if you could give him, even if he could just give them to himself, I think.
If he get himself to himself, then he would be incredibly good. But I think because he at least comes into play ready, that is good enough.
Does he make it into the B range?
Like a minus if he does.
Okay, I have him at B minus question mark.
it's like B minus if you're with a force leader.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm on board with that.
Yeah. Otherwise, like he's kind of down in the C range, like not quite good enough. Very interesting card though.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, our next one is Camtono. This is a rare upgrade. This is a 2-cost cunning upgrade. It gives +0/+0 and says attach unit gains when the attack ends. Look at the top card of your deck. If it costs 2 or less, you may play it for free.
I wrote it's Jared's favorite card, Khan's Golden Dice, all over again.
Oh my god, it is Hans Golden Dice again. Oh no. Yeah, F. So much like Hans Golden Dice, like this is another card where you need to have, if this hits once, then you've kind of hit equal card advantage because you already play a card just to do this. If it hits twice, then you're really doing it. And what you got out of it was you got to play another 2-drop for free. This is a constructed card. It's more of a meme. Please don't play this in your deck. It gives no stats. This is unplayable. F. Next one, though, Improvised Identity. This is a legendary upgrade, 2 cost in cunning. It gives +0, +3, and says attached to a ground unit. Attached unit gains action. Search the top 3 cards of your deck for a ground unit and discard it. Then you may attack with this upgraded unit. For this attack, this unit gains the discarded unit's abilities. Use this ability only once each round. How many times did I just say unit?
Many.
Many times.
What I want to know is like what space unit is in this set that they were so worried you might give it something its ability.
Well, you can't fake being a spaceship, Austin.
You're right. It's flavor. It's purely flavor. Yes, I can. I could fake being a spaceship. Just no one would be. I'm faking being a spaceship right now.
Get your arms out to this side. So I wrote down, play it for the health buff.
I wrote this card's art is exactly how I reacted to reading this card.
Yeah, basically, just kind of like you can give something 3 health.
Yeah.
Eh?
I wrote F, but it's probably like a D because it gives 3 health.
I had it at D just because
Okay.
I don't know, like it's hit points. Maybe there's
It's
worlds where like you do the thing and maybe you get like a 6 support hit off of it or something.
Great. Now it's in my discard.
Yeah, you lose it, and if you hit something really good, like well now you can't draw it and play it. So
Yeah. I'm not in for it.
No, I'm not either. So D for improvised identity.
Yeah.
Our next card, though, is Sense Through the Force. This is a rare event for 2, and it costs choose a number, then search the top 5 cards of your deck for a card, reveal it, and draw it. If it costs the same as the chosen number, you may give 3 advantage tokens to a force unit.
Okay. This card feels punishing to read. Like I read all these words for nothing. Like it's a full paragraph of text.
I mean, you're already kind of gambling because you have to guess the right number, which it's probably a little easier than people expect. Like you basically just say 2 or 3, but then if you do that, all you're drawing off of this is a 2 or a 3. And again, much like Elzar Man, you kind of only really play this if you have a force leader. That way you can make sure you got a force unit to give advantage tokens to. You're jumping a lot of hoops. To pay 2, it gives something 3 advantage tokens.
And a card. And be even on cards because you spent a card.
If you guess it right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
I think you get the card regardless. You only get the advantage.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
If you get the
so, yeah, I guess you could change your mind and just draw a better card instead.
I want to change my mind and make this card a different card in my deck.
Yeah, I had it at F. I'm not into this at all
as well.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I believe that's our last cunning card. Now, surprisingly, we actually have some rares and legendaries to discuss in heroic and villainy. So we're gonna go over those next. And in villainy, we have a starter card. Darth Vader, Meet Your Destiny. This is a 5-cost villainy 4/6 Force Imperial Sith with shielded and says while this unit is ready, he gains Sentinel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's kind of sad that old Paz Vizsla is a better statted, better unit than poor Darth Vader here.
Yeah.
But he's he's great.
Yeah, he's still very good. Like a 4/6 shielded. And this goes into any villainy deck. And then as soon as you get to untap with them, you just let him hang out and just stop so many of your opponent's attacks. Yeah, that's great.
Is he an A minus? I have him at a B plus, but
I wouldn't go A range. I would B. Just because he does not give the Sentinel right away.
Yes.
I had it at B. You just put him in any villainy deck.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And then we actually have a legendary villain card we need to talk about as well. The Eye of Sion. This is a 7-cost Villainy space unit, a 5/8 Imperial vehicle transport at Legendary with action Exhaust. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for a unit that costs the same or less than this unit's power. Play it for free. It enters play ready.
That's a very strong effect.
That's a really strong effect.
I wrote, if the format is slow enough, this thing is going to be frustratingly good. I think it will also be a bit of a trap for newer players to not get blindsided by value of just, I'm going to tap this thing every turn, get it. Sometimes you just use
want to attack for 5.
Yes, sometimes you just kill people, okay? I gave it another B+ question mark. Like, it is another kind of effect that we haven't really seen before, and I don't really know how to grade without actually getting a chance to play with it, especially at 7. Like, is 7 just too late for this thing to really go off?
I wouldn't go as high. I think it's somewhere around B, maybe B-, just because it doesn't do immediately anything as soon as you play it. And I think you're right. I think maybe once you get to that point, maybe you do just want to start attacking rather than doing the thing.
The format's gonna have to be pretty slow in order for it to just like to be. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start trimming units with this thing or something.
I'm gonna stick with B-.
Okay.
All right, and our last Villainy rare card we need to talk about is One Must Destroy to Create. This is a rare plan. It costs 3 Villainy, and it says defeat a friendly non-leader unit. Then you may play that unit for free from your discard pile. I love this artwork.
I do. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, this artwork is sick.
This is another one where we don't really see a lot of this. We see defeats, but it does different things. But like the defeat and then replay, we've seen like bounce back to your hand and then replay it for free and similar-ish style effects. And I don't really know, but some of those were like double cunning or something like that. They were really limited in the scope of where you could play them, and you never played them in limited, kind of thing like that. I gave it like a C. Like I think there's just enough ways to manufacture a scenario where this just ends up being okay.
I had this at C+, because kind of the same thing. I wrote, obviously everything about this reads as a constructed card.
Yes.
But I think there are going to be some limited play that you could make this really do the thing. Again, if you're getting into a late game and you play like Ninth Sister or something, and then just kill Ninth Sister and get to instantly replay Ninth Sister, like that is a beating. Like there are some really strong win played abilities that are coming down, and I think that not alone could do something.
I wasn't even thinking that big. I was just kind of thinking like resetting the health on my Sentinel or something like that.
I mean, even that's kind of good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's enough utility there, but I guess it'll depend. It's another one of those. The card is only going to be as good as your like best unit out in play.
Right.
I'm going to try it though.
Yeah, certainly.
Next up is heroic cards, starting off with Neil, the cutest boy. This is a 1-cost heroic 1/4 fringe that says when played and on attack, the next unit you play this phase with 1 or less power enters play ready. Cutest boy, get out of my deck. Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn.
Sorry, man. Also, your art isn't as cute as the Grogu art. Sorry,
just get out of here. Yeah, constructed card F. Like it.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's doing in constructed, but it's
for like it's for Pilot Han.
Oh, because he plays a lot of one.
Yeah, you play a bunch of ones and then use Han's ability to also pump them because they're all just cheap and odd. It's a thing. Either way, yeah, and you don't want to put 1 or less power cards in your deck just to make Neil do the thing either. Like that's not good enough. So no, Neil is a big old no. Sorry, you adorable little baby elephant man, boy, whatever. We also have a starter card in heroic, and it's Anakin Skywalker. You were right about me. A 5-cost heroic starter card. It's a 6/4 hidden saboteur and says when played, Give a shield token to another friendly unit. I love this reciprocal design of Anakin and Darth Vader. That's so cool.
Yes, I think they really knocked the design and flavor out of the park with these two.
Yes,
these two cards. This one is just got good stats, excellent when played, keywords that will hopefully allow it to actually attack and kill shielded sentinels or attack past them.
Yeah, and that's the cute part, is that Anakin attacking into Darth Vader or vice versa, they just take each other out.
Right.
Beautiful. I like that this is hidden, so it helps you guarantee that it is going to be able to ready and get an attack off next turn if you are good with your initiative, and that's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is just a threat your opponent has to deal with, and giving a shield to something, oof, massive. I actually think I like this one a little bit more than Darth Vader.
I do too. I mean, as the aggressive player, I would much rather have this anyway. But like, I do think he's just better. I have him at a B+.
I also have him at a B+. Yep, exactly B+. All right, and our final card is Choose Your Path. This is the rare heroic event. It costs 2, and it says choose one. If you control a Force unit, heal 5 damage from your base. Or if you control a Mandalorian unit, create a Mandalorian token and give an advantage token to.
I think if this was in a set that had more Force units, where this could kind of be basically a modal card, would make this more interesting. But this card is almost always going to read 2 cost. If you control a Mandalorian, you make a Mandalorian.
That's where I wrote down. It's like, this is mostly for the Mandalorian part. Just to make a 2/2 Mandalorian with an advantage token. And that's not really a card I want to put into my deck. I had it at D.
I also have it at D.
Yeah, and if you have a Force leader or Force units or whatever, I don't think it's really worth a card slot just to heal 5 off your base either. Like, there are way better options for it at lower rarities that I think would much rather play.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, there we go. We did it, Austin. That is every single rare and legendary card in Ashes of the Empire.
Whew.
Whew. Indeed. I gotta say, like, a lot of those cards seem really, really sweet. Like, I feel like a lot of the card designs and power levels are just looking really good compared to Lawless Time.
I don't think I've given as many A's or as many F's.
Yeah, that's fair. There was a moment where I felt like I was maybe being too generous with a lot of my grades going through this. And I'm glad to see that for the most part, we kind of ended up on the same page, and I wasn't going crazy, that a lot of these just seemed really, really good. But of course, we also want to know what you, the listener, think. If there's anything there that we may have overlooked, or another scenario or option that you think could improve or weaken a card, definitely let us know, because much like you, we're trying to learn this set too, and we're figuring it out, and because we want to do well at Galactics in our upcoming PQs and our store showdowns and etc. So all of that, we want to do it well. And again, this is just the rare legendaries and leaders video. We're going to get the set review for all the commons and uncommons coming up pretty soon too. So keep an eye out for that. So subscribe and follow wherever it is you're listening if you haven't already. Let's call it a show, Austin. Yeah. Absolutely. Again, if you found any of this helpful, it would mean a lot to this if you shared it around with your local Star Wars Unlimited communities, put it in your Discords, in your Reddit threads, show it to your friends, especially if any of you are limited enthusiasts just like us. And if you got any comments, questions, or future show topics you'd like to see us discuss, let us know in the comments, or email us at contact.channelswu@gmail.com, and follow us on Blue Sky for more limited content, whether it's us at our drafts, us at our pre-releases, or talking about new discoveries and what other people have found out. And again, if you got sweet builds or sweet events, or you managed to pay a 12-12 in space, or 15-15 in space, or whatever it is, send us a picture. We want to see it. All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you next week.